That's the plan. What just popped? What was that? Why did that look like files? Huh? 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 Huh. Huh. Hmm. Huh. Sure, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what just happened there. Anyway, we're by the letter. Weirdness aside, let's just get into it, because dear God help me. This is how it begins, or how they say, last time on the letter, Marianne died. I remember, dude, because it hasn't been a year. With a gentle wind drifting through wide open windows, muffled laughters, footsteps fading behind empty hallways, and a light kiss of afternoon sun. Soon, there will be a call, a crossing of thresholds into the unknown. Maybe we are off on to some grand adventure, diving into another gripping mystery. One can't really tell, for all I know. A hero might even come sweep me off my feet if I'm lucky.
That's not exactly a bad thing when you think about it.
Great. But this is far from one, isn't it? A riveting tale, that is. A mild breeze, the faint murmurs, the warm rays, painting every nook and cranny a fiery hue. They're all as real as they can get. As much as I want to write a little tale out of this, I'm far from someone who can. Fleeting fancies, that's what these are. Merely passing thoughts to occupy an idle mind, while waiting for another busy workday to end. Then again, maybe another life. I am one? Who knows? But at present, what I have, and what I've chosen to be, well...
I won't last years here if I find teaching rowdy adolescents a tedious job, will I?
Tedious job! Admittedly, the whole affair isn't exactly as grand or exciting as I'd imagined as a child. What a blues! If I weren't so stubborn and too passionate about the whole idea, I probably would have quit a long time ago. But it's always the kids that make it worthwhile, isn't it? As if in agreement, as soon as my pen slides into a neat circle against the papers I'm grading, the final bell rings. Like a dam that is open, the students begin piling out into the hallways soon after. For a short minute, I let the noise fill my ears, let my mind wander to a place far removed from all the hubbub. Solitary moments like this have come few and far between lately. Even my own home hasn't been as quiet as I usually prefer. Though in hindsight, the entire place hasn't been the same either since Isabella moved in next door. And if her fussing over a minor cold last week tells anything, I might as well throw any idea of solitude at the nearest balcony, so long as she lives nearby. At the memory, my eyes automatically shift over to the bottle sitting at the edge of my desk. A chuckle escapes from me as I reach for it.
A little ball of energy and enthusiasm. That big baby.
Big baby! Mother Hen, she calls me, and then says and does the same thing right after. It's not that I'm unused to being on the receiving end of people's worries, or I feel any sort of apprehension over her fretting. If I'm to be completely honest, it's actually amusing how someone can be childlike one minute, then act like a responsible adult the next. Yeah, reprehensible. Remy, your literacy rating is bad today. Let's go. Read better, five-head. And there's a dissonance there, both in her words and actions. Although she may not look it, may not say anything, may not lose her cheer one way or another, I know these troubles have weighed down on her lately. Her face says it all. That big numpty. She thinks I won't notice she's got another thing coming for her. That's how she has always been. I do understand that part loud and clear. It's just that I'd really rather not pass on another burden onto her. Or
become one myself.
Are I supposed to be the one taking care of them? Although I guess that's simply one of those things people eventually grow away from, once you've started leading different lives. Not completely different, I hope. Somehow, that thought makes me feel uneasy. Thankfully, before stranger ideas can take root in my head, a faint buzzing comes from I honestly thought that was my phone. I honestly thought that was... Because I have silent mode on, right? I do the silent thing. So all I hear is the... Brrr, 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 and I'm just kind of like... who's calling me? Who's calling Remy? And, there's my answer. Fake buzzing comes to my bag, cutting through the rest of my thoughts. A small frown forms on my lips and the screen lights up and an unknown number flashes. It's a telemarketer, dude! For a long second, my thumb hovers over the answer button. Even the voices that responds once I do accept the call is wholly unfamiliar.
Hello?
Oh, goodness. Finally, it connects. Hello? Is this Miss Gales? Rebecca Gales?
Yes, speaking. Who is this?
Oh, sorry. Rose Cooper. Briar Realty Corporation.
The Briars are real? I always thought they were just a scam! Wait, Rose Cooper, that's the chick from the beginning. Never mind.
Briar Realty?
That's the chick from the very beginning. It's been years, chat! My frown deepens as I straighten from my chair. Hi, Care. Something in her tone, despite sounding remarkably friendly and light, doesn't sit quite well with me. The rigid pause that follows doesn't help ease the tension that has suddenly descended either.
Miss Cooper?
Miss Cooper!
Yes. Things are a bit busy on my end. I apologize.
Oh, they're busy on your end. They're busy on your end. Oh man, I understand that feeling. After all, I know, Jarvis. We're busy over here too. Just we're doing stuff and things. I regret finding this again.
I'm not certain if Isabella has mentioned anything before, but we're working together on a property at the moment, and...
The Armengard Mansion, yes.
Armengard
She said something about
Mansion.
that earlier. Is there a problem?
This is about Isabella, actually.
Oh no. She wastes no time relaying everything. Skip interrupted. I wasn't trying to skip. I was checking things. Hold on, chat. Things broke again. I think. I'm double checking that Dixper's good. Dixper looks good. Dixper looks fine. I think I'm losing my mind. Losing my mind, dude! Yup. That's where we're at. We don't know anymore. Oh shit, I clicked the wrong button. Alright, I think Dixper is working. I am not entirely sure though. Let's see. Now is what I was going to really quickly just go and do the thing of just to make sure that it actually fixed itself, because it did another update today and I think that I might have actually fixed it. It was working earlier! Hold on. It isn't the bad sort I'm expecting. Still worrying, though. Especially with words panic. Boding sentence. But as quickly as it surfaces, I stomp down the urge to demand answers right there and then. Now isn't the proper time for useless questions. I'll find out soon enough, regardless. Jarvis, what are you doing? What are you doing? Dude, you were just outside. It was freezing. No. Stop looking at me like that. Now! Did I break things? What is he doing back there? I didn't even know he could get back there. That's not great. What? Come here. This is what I get for playing the harmonica. Also, let's see if it's working again. Hold on, Jet. I had to restart OBS because of other issues. Nope. Again. Come here. Yeah, like, it's not even popping up on my screen. It's making the noise, though. So that's cool. Hold on. Maybe just that one? What have I done to you to make you like this? Why is Dixper broken? Alright, well, I'm glad no one's done anything. Hold on. I'm gonna close it again. Let's see if relaunching Dixper works. It literally was working when I was testing during lunch. Jarvis, no. It is 40 degrees. Actually, you can go back outside. It's 50 degrees. Hold on. Be right back, Chet. I'm going to go sit him outside while he calms down. And Dixper hopefully connects. Chill, dog. He's gonna be mad at me in like 45 minutes. There's a new patch again. Hooray! I'm glad that Dixper's working. Synced immediately. To Miss Cooper's credit, she neither hesitates nor falters all throughout. There's some sort of comfort in knowing Isabella is someone to guide her, though not as much as I would have liked. Still waiting for it to sync. There it is. Alright. Explain why you don't work now. Smile. I can't tell you how much I hated that it worked that time. Yeah. I think the thing I'm most mad about, though, is that it broke, and D20 did, like, a box thing this morning, and I can't refund that. After all, this is Isabel we're talking about. What chances she said a bunch of excuses so she won't get sent home? Hi. Very high. She's gonna hear it this time.
You were listed as...
Hold on. I can't refund that, but you know what I can do? You know what I can do, D20? I can attempt to make it right.
one of her emergency contacts, so I thought
Spend
it'd
a
be
year
best you know
war,
about
a
this.
year in Guantanamo. Guantanamo. Okay. Doesn't like it when I tab out to do things like give D20 5 crates because I'm sorry. Hopefully that makes up for it.
How is she? Is she doing okay?
I had her take a break for now, but honestly, I'd feel better if someone were to pick her up and take her home.
Hopefully
for
that
some
makes
rest.
up for things breaking because it does that.
Anthem's a fair distance from Luxborn. I really don't want her going off on her own. I'd do it myself, but you know how it is today. Big day. People everywhere until the open house ends. I'm really sorry to ask this of you, Miss Gales. I know you're busy.
Ooh.
Oh, no, it's all good. I was just about to leave from work. I hope to leave early today anyway. A few minutes ahead wouldn't hurt. I can be there in a few, 30, 40 minutes tops. Is that all right?
More than fine, Miss Gales, thank you. We're supposed to be here until... Oh, excuse me. One moment, please. Yes, ma'am.
The faint hum of conversation echoes from her, and sounds as though the place is buzzing with more people than you'd expect from a regular open house. I was skeptical first. The house is old, not to mention its inconvenient location, not Luxburton's outskirts. Who wants to live in a place that's almost an hour drive away from the comforts of a city? A lot of people. You're a fucking idiot, Rebecca. But from what little I can hear, it appears Isabella has every right to be optimistic about the sale. If I don't understand why she was so adamant refusing my offer of help before, I think I do now, to some degree.
We'll be resuming the tour soon. Yes, thank you. Sorry about that. I really need to get this thing going. Lord knows how I'll salvage the situation here. It shouldn't be anything complicated, but still, clients. They can be difficult when they want to be. Anyway, just look for me when you get here, alright? I shouldn't be too hard to miss.
No problem. Thanks for letting me know about. Just make sure Isabella stays put, please.
It's
Heaven knows
so
how
weird how
stubborn that
far
girl
back
can
we
be.
are.
Oh, believe me, I know.
Like, this is like the beginning of the
Don't worry
game
about it.
kind of story.
I'll have a few of our
positionings.
staff keep an eye on her for me until you get here.
That's all I'm asking. I appreciate it.
The whole thing ends on a surprisingly pleasant note. If only the same can be said for the news she brought. I allow brief minutes pass to ease whatever tension has latched itself firmly into my nerves. But no matter how much I wish for it, my mind suddenly refuses to do so. My hands are unsteady against the papers I pretend to arrange after. Lucid dots, every ounce of it, grimier than the other, grows with each passing second I linger. This thing, this whole thing, along with sudden unease and nagging worry, screams, off! Wrong! This is a riveting tale I'd hoped to step into today. Even on a rush, getting everything in order before leaving takes nearly a good quarter hour. By the time I make it out of the classroom, the commotion has already died down, dwindling to mere echoes and distant laughters. From the nearby room, melodies of a rehearsing band drifts freely into the air. Filling the almost empty hallway with their warm, lively tunes. You hear that, chat? I'm a lively tune now. Any other day, I'd bask in the music and enjoy what little peace it brings. Does it bring peace, chat? Don't you wish I could have a kazoo? Not today, however. My steps are brisk as I march into Edward Hall's exit. The sooner I can confirm Isabella's okay, the sooner I can shake off this, whatever that word is, feeling. For one reason or another, that single call of all possible things has thrown everything off kilter. I'd rather this be over with as quickly as possible. So much that I nearly barrel over a student in my haste. Though perhaps it's really the other way around. When I looked out, that is fucking scary. Looked out, a set of eyes, bright and hopeful, stare back at me. Her arms are wrapped around my waist like a vice, and at my attention, a grin spreads over her face.
Buenos tardes, Miss Pink.
Hello, Kylie. You know, you aren't supposed to run into people like that.
Sorry, Miss Pink.
She loosens her hold on me, but not a hint of guilt or regret appear on her. If anything, it seems the remark only amused her. Her smile appears on my face. A smile appears on my face before I can help it, matching the one on her own.
Just remember not to do it again, all right? You could get hurt.
You sound like my mama when she's scolding Rowan, Miss Pink.
I'm sure your mama only means well. I know she'll be worried sick if one of you were to get hurt. Where's your brother anyway? Aren't you two supposed to be heading home now?
Rowan said he's got some stuff he needs to do before we go. I think he's taking too long. But he promised to buy me jelly babies today. If I keep what he's doing a secret from Mama and Papa.
Any chance you'll tell Miss Pink about it?
She shakes her head, both her hands going to her mouth as if to keep its precious secret from spilling out.
I made a promise. He said it's for Tia Luke.
Oh, something like a gift?
Like a deal. Tio promised to take him somewhere cool when he's old enough. Rowan's gonna prove he's a grown-up.
Laughter slips from my lips. The teacher in me wants to give this Tio a reprimand for bringing about this kind of behavior in children. But if the Suarez kids are so fond of him, there shouldn't be anything to worry about, yes? At any rate, they're nothing but well-behaved, both Kylie and her brother. Rowan, the eldest, may have an occasional odd streak in and out of class, but the parents have taught them well. I see no reason to cast any suspicion of bad behavior on them.
As long as it isn't anything dangerous, all right?
It's not. Cross my heart.
Jelly babies are fucking amazing. British Candy's glorious trip.
My drawings are a lot prettier than what he's doing anyway. Tio said so. Do you want to see? I drew one earlier at class.
Is that why you're here?
Not really. I was gonna show it to my friend first. But since it's you, I'm sure she wouldn't mind if you see it before she does.
Oh no. I can't stay right now, Kylie.
Her face falls immediately after the words are out. Part of me feels responsible for that crestfallen look, but as much as I want to stay a little longer, there's another place I need to be at right now. And frankly, another child to look after. Taking both of her hands, I kneel in front of her and muster the most rueful smile I can give. At her age, I'm sure she already understands what I'm about to say before they're even out. But remarkably, she doesn't look away or pout as I'm expecting her to.
I'm sorry. You know what? Rowan has a class with me on Monday around this time. Why don't you drop by again next week? After class? I'll even make sure to wait for you. It's just that I absolutely must leave now. My friend had an accident earlier, and I'm the only one she has here.
What about her mama and papa?
Her family lives really far from here, I'm afraid. Do you remember where Asia is? The southeast part? That's where they are.
Her eyes immediately light up at my question. Just like that, I know I've earned the girl's forgiveness. Doesn't take long to see a picture. Shouldn't stop to talk to the kid if you were in a hurry anyway. She latched on her leg
just like
randomly.
Chicago.
She was just walking.
My friend, she said she used to live there, only just a little higher than southeast. But she hasn't come home in a long time, so she doesn't remember much about it anymore. Melody says it's weird I talked to her, but I think she's just shot. They could be good friends too. Don't you think so, Miss Pink?
Maybe if you introduce them properly, they will be.
That's what I think. Takako's just lonely. If she makes more friends, she won't be anymore. Is your friend like that too?
A little, possibly. To be honest, sometimes I can't tell with her.
After all, Isabella has always been the kind to hold a smile even when things have taken a turn for the worse. "5 years, and one will think it's enough time to know a person. But when you consider it, come to think of it, all these years I've never, not even once, seen her cry. Not over a trivial matter, even when things are tough.
Okay, you can go to her. I'll just show you my drawing next time.
Thank you. Remind me to buy you a huge glass of parfait, all right?
Who calls it a
Oh,
glass of
stomach
parfait?
ache. Chicago says so. A small one is okay.
I'll remember that. Say hi to your friend for me.
I have to take.
I'm sure
I'm
she
taking
wants
this
to
away
meet you
from
too.
myself, Chat.
See you,
I'm
Miss
taking away
I'll
the
see
thing.
you later, Kylie.
London Bridge is falling
She doesn't
down,
look back or
falling
wait for
down,
any sort of goodbye from me.
falling down.
With a song and extra
London
spring in her
Bridge
step,
is
she bounds across the
falling
corridor with
down.
as much spirit only a
Bye,
child her age can have.
baby.
As if the conversation has never taken any downhill turn for her at all. As if there isn't a single thing to worry about in the world. Not long after, she disappears behind a door, leaving behind strains of an old familiar rhyme lingering in the air. Carefree, unbidden, untroubled moments like this, I envy her. Don't you have somewhere to fucking be? And as I resume my hurried pace, there it is. A tiny whisper in the back of my mind, which is the same can be said of myself and my own worries. Locksport may be a small city, but it's no stranger to hellish rush hour traffic. But surprisingly, getting out of the city today proves more of a breeze and a hassle. A relief, considering how none of my calls to Isabella have made it through. Either reception's really bad over there, or she's ignoring them on purpose. Both does nothing to ease the disquiet in me. The rest of my drive passes without much incident. As soon as I'm out of the busy streets, in less than 30 minutes, the mansion looms ahead of me. For all the fuss Isabella made about the house, it remains a thing of beauty. Unlike Luxbourne, the estate and nearby Ansem village stand as its complete opposite, living and breathing these songs of old, whispers of a once booming haven lingering in the air. Contemporary conveniences aside, it's a place I'm glad modernization hasn't wholly touched.
It's just a shame the locals know more of the silly hearsay than the history itself.
They're one and the same!
I could only knock some sense into these people.
If only I could tell them that they're wrong about the ghosts and stuff, even though there's definitely ghosts and stuff.
Sadly, complaining is all I can afford to do. As much as I want to give them a piece of my mind, it isn't why I'm here. I don't think these rich types will appreciate getting a lecture from me either. I have as much business with them as they have with me. With a heavy sigh, I give myself one last second to take in the scenery before heading up to the main entrance. Most of the guests are already heading out. Though some still linger, it's mainly take photos of the house's facade or its various rooms. I pause for a moment, smelling a small crowd gathered in the foyer, looking for a sign of that familiar ponytail among the sea of hats and heads.
No sign of her.
No sign of the other staff or Miss Cooper either. I can certainly look for Isabel on my own, but in a place this big, I'd be lucky if I didn't end up lost or find her before we need to meet with Zachary and Ash tonight. Sighing, I reach for my mobile and redial her number. The gesture familiar now after so many attempts earlier. She doesn't answer. I can still try contacting Miss Cooper. I just hope the network reception will cooperate this time. This side of the county has never been popular with the tech-savvy after all. To my relief, it only took 3 unsuccessful tries. The 4th one, right as I'm about to switch to another intercepted line, the line finally rings. Silence falls while I wait for it to pick up. The ring goes on far too long for my tastes. But now most of the visitors have already cleared out. All I have for company are the faint murmurs and eerie calmness left in their wake. A sudden hush settles and gives way to louder noises louder than ever meant to be. Doors creaking and slamming shut in some distant parts of the mansion, floorboards groaning under the sheer weight of the house's history. Its now empty hall, they all reverberate with special clarity against the walls. Like those old stories seem to have an almost ring of truth to it. I don't get to stray far into an ugly line of thought, however. Not a second later, a quick sounds from the other end.
Hello? Isabella? Miss Cooper called earlier and...
Help me!
Isabella? Belle? Are you alright?
Without a warning, the call cuts off. Busy notes blare, but above the noise cutting through the mute air remains the faint cries of a woman from beyond the foyer. My hand falls to my side as I cast a wary look around, waiting for someone to come running. Surely I can't be the only one hearing this. There must be some staff hanging around, checking things out, but no one does. Not even when her sob turns more frantic in English.
Excuse me? Hello? Who's there? Isabella? Isabella? Is that you?
No answer. Growling anxious, I amble over where the cries come from, each step slow and cautious, towards a door on the other end of the room. While I'm far from someone who gives in to fear or stories lacking factual basis, the vague, restless feeling I have earlier immediately returns to me. And despite myself, my heart begins to race. My breathing quickens. I fucked it up. I fucked up my whole bit. I was planning on just being like, and I got the wrong side. I was just.
Belle? Belle, it's me.
Sag.
Miss Cooper
It
called.
was so close. It was so
Is
good.
everything
It was
okay?
such a good bit, and I fucked it. Abruptly, all of it stops. My whole body tenses, mouth dragging in a ragged breath, ears straining for any other sound yet to come from the other side. But nothing follows. Instead, the quiet only lends itself to the tension in the air, as if every small movement will disturb the fragile stillness hanging in the room. I wait for another second. Then, with a caution, I reach for the knob. My fingers barely graze the brass handle when a hand falls on my shoulder.
Excuse me. I am so sorry. I didn't mean to startle you.
No, it's a...
Still reeling, my gaze shifts back to the door, as if any second now the cries will start again, or whoever's inside will burst out of the room. But I don't get to dwell on these. The woman's worried voice breaks through the haze of my mind again, oddly soothing in the thick of my unease. Even if the concerned look comes from a total stranger, finally being in the company of someone else is somehow
Ma'am?
comforting.
Are you okay?
Oh, no, I'm fine. This is probably just some cold.
Would you like to sit down?
No need. I'm actually looking for a friend.
I wave the mobile in front of her, like the gesture alone explains everything. Vaguely, I note my tight grip on it and slip it into my pocket before she notices. She doesn't need it.
Well, I'm not really sure if your friend would still be here. We're actually about to close the open house in a few minutes, ma'am.
No worries. She's not a guest here. She works for Briar Realty. Miss Cooper called me earlier. In fact, I'm also looking for her.
Recognition flashes in her eyes, and her worried expression dissolves in a smile once. It's all I need to know that I don't have to look anywhere else or venture deeper into the mansion on my own. In some way, I'm not too keen on the latter right now.
Oh, Miss Rebecca Gales, is it?
Yes. Sorry if I'm a bit late.
It's not a problem. I was busy with the open house and a few clients anyway. It's actually a good thing you came when you did. Let's see. Isabella should be here somewhere. I told her to stay put earlier. That girl never listened.
Rose? Rosie, may I have a minute? There's just this one little thing before we go.
Miss Cooper's head immediately snaps up at the voice. In a blink, a different kind of smile spreads on her face. A smile still, friendly even, but the kind given mainly for the sake of pleasing other people rather than making friends.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be there in a few.
That's a scary fucking smile! It's an impressive thing, to say the least. That level of professionalism, you mean terror. I suppose working years in this kind of business trains you enough to be able to pull that off without batting an eye. Certainly didn't seem to have rubbed off on Isabella.
Sorry,
though.
could you give me a second? I have to take care of this.
Don't worry about it. I understand. I can wait a few more minutes.
I could wait a few more minutes.
You won't hear anything from me. Priorities, you know. But if you want, you can stay at the parlor in the meantime. I think we have a few refreshments left.
No, don't return to the main. I'm trying to figure out how to save. What's the save button? It is not S. It is really S.
No, thank you. I'm going out with a few friends after this. Isabella's supposed to join us too. But that depends on how she's doing, of course.
All right, this won't be long, I promise.
She throws me an apologetic look before sauntering over to the small group gathered at the entrance. A couple are siblings and another woman, probably the secretary. Either way, they look no different than the other guests. All three of them primely dressed, albeit in a manner significantly simpler than the others. No frills, no extravagance of any form. But their gestures and their movements alone speak volumes of their ingrained lifestyle. In their presence, I do what I can to appear inconspicuous on my side of the foyer. Maybe accepting Miss Cooper's offers would have been a much better choice than standing around awkwardly gaping at them. All while also attempting my best not to listen in on their conversation. Although that one proves more difficult with how enthusiastic the blonde woman is. Her voice easily echoes through the walls with only the five of us here. Pretty soon, I find myself being drawn into the talk without meaning to.
Tomorrow? First thing in the morning?
First thing in the morning, ma'am.
The mundane talk isn't what catches my attention now.
Very well. We'll have our lawyers prepare everything as soon as possible. Let's make this whole thing easier for everyone, shall we? Just let me know if there's anything you need from me. You know how to contact me, yes?
Got your mobile number saved here already.
Good. It's just a matter of time then.
It's a brief moment, a fleeting shift in my
Monday
eyes.
for us, Marianne.
As long as you're positive, we won't be having any problems by that time. You can count on my team.
You worry too much. Let me handle those things. Do be thrilled, though. I imagine it's not every day you get projects like this, hmm?
And the instant I turn my gaze on him, I see
Oh,
it.
I'm certain Mint's ecstatic, Buttercup. Aren't you, Marianne? You know, we could all celebrate this with a few drinks. Why don't we? In fact, there's this really excellent Irish pub I visited a few days ago.
Looming, hovering over his shoulder, drawn to him like a moth to flame, a dark blur. No, a shadow.
I think I'll pass on that, sir. I have more important matters to attend to.
Darling, your liver. You already had a glass today, and apparently a few days ago as well. How many times do we have to remind you? Doctor's orders, remember?
What a shame. You never let me do anything fun.
As much as trying to make sense of it, heavy feeling descends over my whole body. Happens without a warning, forces me to close my eyes. The sensation creeps to every part of me, crawling under my skin and draining me little by little of any strength. Before I know it, my hand is gripping the nearby door for support. The sudden nausea drowns out their voices and what little sound there is, all except the whispers and laughters. Judging, Mocking, taunting, muffled, inaudible words bearing down on me like a death sentence. They wrap around my neck and limbs, binds, tightening with every syllable, every utterance. And with each breath or draw of breath I take, they drag me down slowly, almost painfully, into a bottomless abyss. On, and on, and on, till the sound turns into mere distant echoes, until suddenly it shatters.
Well, what are we waiting for? Are we done here?
His voice rips through the fog like a sharp blade, and my eyes open snap. When I look at them again,
Just a second, darling. Send my regards to Isabel, please. Poor girl. Please let her know she doesn't have to worry and tell her to get some rest. Anyway, we're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Likewise, ma'am.
No shadows or dark clouds, only amicable smiles and cordial handshakes, the usual pleasantries, as Miss Cooper leads them out of the mansion like a graceful host. None of the group seem to have noticed it, and even as I force my breathing to calm down, keep my eyes trained on their backs, and wait for something to happen, doesn't come back, she returns a moment later. Gently, she closes the great doors behind her. There's a smile on her lips and an extra skip in her step when she walks back to me. Whatever she was discussing with the group had put her in a good mood. She even appears to have not observed anything. Was I just seeing things?
Glad that was over. It's been a long day. I thought for sure we were going to... Hey, are you sure you're doing okay?
It's all good. I'm actually still...
I'm recovering from being sick. Hold on, Jen. There.
Weather's been crazy lately.
That must be it. The weather, the stupid cold, and the friendly warnings I'm too stubborn to listen to. As much as I hate it, Isabella's right. I was, and still am, a little feverish when she visited me at school this morning. The medicine helped, of course, but only some. Although it's not like I can't function. I did get better after lunch. I was able to go through my schedule like the usual. Now I'm not so sure. However, I can't keep acting like I've seen some sort of apparition when it's anything but. I simply must have listened too many times to Isabella last week. My fever-muddled mind is started to confuse things. This doesn't let up. I just need to visit a doctor. Plain and simple. Although I do hope it won't get any worse. We promised to watch Zachary's film together.
What do you mean? I've been complaining to Isabel. It doesn't seem to affect her much, though. Must be because she grew up in the tropics. Anyway, shall we? She's probably hanging out with the rest of the catering staff.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised she's there. She eats like 10 hungry men when she isn't feeling well. Lead the way.
With a small nod, she gestures for me to follow. I do so without much thought, finally putting everything back in my mind. Dots! The entire visit took a whole 24 minutes, and my trip to the mansion, as it turns out, is a useless endeavor in itself. Isabella's no longer there, left shortly before I arrived. Or at least that's what the few that saw her assumed. None of them knew where she went, but I can take a few guesses. There are only a few number of places in Luxport she frequents, and well, she's never been the complex kind. Doesn't really take a genius to figure it out. Still, it's odd that she left her own. She could have at least waited for Miss Cooper. It would have saved her having to pay for a cab's fare twice today.
Right after she was told to stay put. I mean, who does that? Oh, sod off. You don't own the road.
In the end, all Miss Cooper gave me were a string of apologies for my trouble and requests to let her know when I find Isabel. The whole affair didn't even last long. Probably spent more time traveling back and forth. Soon enough, I'm weaving my way into downtown Luxford, worried sick, and on top of that note, maybe getting a little annoyed. Whether at the unexpected turn of events or at Isabel herself, or I'd rather just not think about it for now. And when I'm already running late for Zachary's film. Besides, I'm perfectly sure that's where I'll find her. As one would expect, people are already gathered at the movie house when I get to it. The small avenue where it's located is closed off early for any passing traffic to make way for avid moviegoers who are sure to crowd the venue. I always have to park in the street away and walk the remaining distance because of it. Looking for them has taken a while to figure out this big, and I eventually spot them near the entrance. Oh my god, the amount of extra words in this visual novel. Thanks Zachary mostly, and like I've surmised, Isabel is with them.
I knew it.
Wasting no time, I march over to the little group. Words filled with concern tumble out of my mouth before I can stop myself.
Oh, thank goodness. Becca, you're just in time.
An odd expression crosses her face as I hold it with both hands, but I ignore it in favor of getting a good look at her, forcing her to keep still and fix her gaze at me.
You're squishing my face. How are you? Are you all right? Why wouldn't I be?
There doesn't seem to be any visible injury, nor does she seem to be in pain. Apart from a confused frown at my question, she looks pretty much like how she would any other day. Even so, you can't really tell those things at their first glance. The last time she got sick, she never even bothered to call anyone, even me, who lives right next door. If I hadn't checked in on her then, she probably would have died in her bed with the rest of us, none the wiser. The one thing we love about now, but moments like these also teach you about a person. If anything, it's coming to give me more reason to constantly worry about her. And at the moment, a familiar name comes up, I know my concerns right now aren't completely
Rose
baseless.
called me earlier.
Her expression swiftly changes, and gently as she can, Isabella pushes my hands away. Yet, even before she says anything, I already have a hunch how this whole thing will play out.
No, everything's good. Rose covered for me at work today.
That's not what I'm talking about. How's your head?
And then, there, the whole conversation goes down as I've imagined. She dodges my hand when I reach the back of her head, intending to check the injury myself. She even makes a show of hiding behind Zachary just to avoid me. Instantly, what's supposed to be a simple inquiry dissolves into a shameless game of tag. Shouting and chasing like none of us can even be bothered to act as the full-grown adults we're supposed to be. Including Ashton! I don't put it past Isabel, but Ash out of everyone? In fact, that stupid smirk on his face tells me anything. He finds the whole mess amusing. Oh, for the love of...
Isabella, this isn't a laughing matter.
Tell me that dialogue was needed. Chat.
She did look pale when I saw her.
Wow, thanks a lot, Ashton, you traitor. I'll get you back for this. Just you wait.
What? I'm just saying it as it is. If you mentioned this earlier, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
There's a moment's pause. My hand stills in midair as my attention shifts to Ashton, and the words he leaves hanging between the four of us. He doesn't meet my eye, but I don't even think he's aware of what he said. But the meaning in each syllable alone is clear, and they echo. They sting. They burn.
I'm sorry. Saw her?
Yeah, they arrived together. Bella looked fine to me then. I don't know.
Of course. Why else did Isabella leave on her own after being told to stay put? After that little chat about money this morning. Something close to silence falls while I mull over the words. Both what's already been said and what's left unspoken. When I do find my voice, someone reeks with nothing but bitter, unpleasant thoughts. Thoughts I quickly stamp out before the surface. Thoughts I hide the best I can in the deepest parts of my mind, locking it away for no one to see.
That's good. At least she didn't have to travel alone, right? At least. Good.
So yet as I try to fight, the green-eyed monster easily rears its ugly head, like it always does every time his gaze lingers a second longer. Every time he smiles in a manner far too gentle, far too sincere whenever he thinks no one can see. Every time my mind suggests his words mean more than they should. Every small little thing, despite what he says, despite his tone. For all I know, maybe the same kind of fondness born from friendship. Maybe I'm simply overlooking, like how he often tells me. Or maybe there really is something there. But in a short display of impatience, I know the whole of it is just for show. After all, growing up together with him didn't teach me nothing about him. For whose sake is it this time, though? For him? For Zachary? For her? Or for me? That I can't tell.
If she says she's okay, then there's nothing we can do about it. It's not like we can stop her either. Besides, she's still acting like the same old Isabella to me. If she can still run around like that.
Why are you taking her side?
I'm not. But if she wants to watch Zach's movie with us, I'm not going to stop her. She's probably the one looking forward to it the most.
Ash, that's... You, of all people, should know...
Tell you what. If I notice something amiss with her, I'll take her to the nearest hospital myself. Is that good enough for you?
My mouth opens, then snaps shut. Done. I can't respond. Done. On the contrary, there's plenty. So many things I can use to reason and get him to agree. But because he speaks with so much certainty, with so much reassurance, I feel like there isn't even a choice. All I can give is a long, deep breath and reluctantly nod in the face of it. Before I can get a grip of myself and my own weakness, the mood immediately shifts and I'm being tackled into a hug.
It's always been you with him, isn't it?
Did you say something?
Me? Nothing.
Damn
Don't
right
mind
she
me.
did! A lie, obviously. What else can it be? Each and every smile, a tiny effort to keep things as they are, or so I tell myself. Little do I know it is merely a preamble. It starts up quietly and without fanfare amidst friendly jibes and harmless teasing, with the scrap of paper fluttering harmlessly to the ground. One that looks suspiciously like a cheap Halloween prank, no matter how you look at it. And yet, despite how ludicrous it all is, Isabel stubbornly insists, as if her whole life depends on acknowledging the truth in her story. Does she even realize how absurd she sounds right now? Crivens, even my students wouldn't fall for this.
Isabella, aren't you taking this a bit too far?
She doesn't give me time to regret, nor think over my choice of words. From there it escalates, growing into an argument, too petty even for our standards as adults. Before we know it, one after another, harsh, scathing words have
It's
been
not
spoken.
a joke! Will you guys listen to me first? I saw something in the house earlier. It stood right in front of me. If I hadn't gotten away, that thing might have...
Right. And in broad daylight, Isabella. Even someone gullible would find the logic in that screwed up. There's also no way in hell that this supernatural shit is true.
But it's real! What do you think I saw?
A hallucination? A delusion? Didn't you say you fell down some stairs? So maybe Rebecca's right.
It happened after, when I was trying to get away. I almost got stuck in the same room with that thing. We're all in danger. I thought you were my friends. Why don't you believe me?
But someone has to be patient in all this, and however much my own has already been frayed earlier, there's no one else. Who else here can deal with someone selfishly acting like a kid? Like every other time, it has to be me.
We are, and you know that. But this thing and that thing has got nothing to do with the other. When Rose called earlier, I thought she's just exaggerating. But based on what I'm seeing right now, maybe it's better if we really postpone this for now.
Don't bother.
It's just like that. She cuts us off. Slams the door right on our faces while my own temper flares before I can stop it. Although it falters briefly at the hard expression on her, when she snatches the blasted paper from Ashton, I hold on to it. Regardless of how upset she appears, soured expression and balled fists, throwing a tantrum is simply unacceptable. For a grown woman at that, words form at the tip of my tongue already. But before I can open my mouth and let it all out, her feelings and mistakes be damned, Zachary raises a voice of his own.
Guys!
A warning underneath the warm and hopeful beat in his voice. We all stop and look at him, and even my own anger subsides a little from his tone.
Why don't we all calm down first? I'm sure Isabella has her reasons too. No need to be hard on her. And hey, ain't this supposed to be a happy get-together?
To an outsider, it may look like a desperate request, but Zachary's always been the one to keep a level-headed over pretty petty squabbles. This time is no different. He knows exactly what to say, and when he lets it fall, they only ring sharp.
We
and
haven't
true.
seen each other for months. I'd really love to know what y'all have been up to. I only ever get to talk to Bella over chat. Please.
And as carefully as he is with his own tone, it does make me feel ashamed. We're supposed to be here for him to give what support we can give. Yet here he is trying to keep three stubborn people from outright hashing it out in public. Later, we can, and we'll talk about it, of course. There's a proper time and place for it, and at the moment my anger and whatever reprimands it carries no longer matter. Besides me, Ashton appears to have already caught on. The lines of his shoulders ease to something more relaxed, his expression back to his nonchalance. Isabella, however, she stands perfectly still, her hands clasping the straps of her bag like a lifeline. Eyes trained at some points near her shoes. There's no anger in her face, only undeniable hurt. But she's never been good at hiding what she thinks. Always the open book, always the one to wear her heart out in the open. When she looks up, her answer is also
If we keep
simple.
arguing here, we're going to miss the first few minutes.
Her lips are curled up in a smile, though lacking both its usual brightness and glee, it's a smile nonetheless. To the countless times, it's the very one she would show when she has no choice, or simply when things get tougher. But despite everything I already know about her, it catches me off guard. In all honesty, I expected her to run, to balk at the first sign of losing this time. I wouldn't even be surprised. At 26, she's the youngest among us, less experienced, less accustomed to dealing with trivial quarrels like this. Yet here she is, holding herself and coping with it like she would with matters concerning her family. Outside of that, to me, she's always been this childish, naive girl, and watching the opposite play out right now. Somehow I find it difficult to wrap my head around.
All right, that's the Isabella I know.
Holy shit,
good.
is Rebecca
Thought for
so
sure you were going to
condescending.
cry.
But I envy her.
What was that for?
Stop calling me a crybaby! I'm not one!
Aw, don't cry.
Stop it!
I envy her spirit, her warmth, her cheer, the shine in her eyes when she looks at the world, how everything seems to fall back into a pleasant, lively rhythm with her around, how easily and tightly she fits into our lives even without bonds only years long could forge, like a lost piece of a puzzle despite her jagged edges, how she draws people to her with ease, how Ashton of all people can be drawn
Okay,
to her.
scaredy cat then.
That too! If you repeat that, I swear I'll...
Let's just go.
I make no effort to keep the bitterness from my tone. I let it seep, linger, stiffly in the air as I avert my gaze from them, from their playful banter, their teasing remarks, and Ashton's tender, affectionate smiles. All before the stabbing aches in my heart changes something too painful to bear. It's all in my head is what I often tell myself, yet the way my heart rends at just the sight of them hurts. And like a coward, I walk away from it all, taking with me a small hope the movie will distract me away from these thoughts. Because like this, it's easy to find something to hate in her. Dusk has already given way tonight as we leave the film fest. Unfortunately, it does nothing to improve my mood, like I'm hoping. That is the muggy air that greets us upon stepping back onto the noisy streets. Too busy. Too loud. Too many people talking about what little space in the sidewalk offers. It forces anyone to bump shoulders with those they barely know, let alone care about. On a normal evening, I probably wouldn't have minded the crowd nor the humid weather. It's not like any of them are bothering anyone, and yet with what's admittedly pleasant company, I can't bring myself to
So you got some other time?
Holy shit! Yeah, she has issues.
Yeah. See ya.
Not even the return the smiles of Ash and Zachary gives us when we go our separate ways. Perhaps this started with Miss Cooper's call earlier. Maybe even the moment I left bed this morning. Bloody hell, it could have been because that sodding letter, for all I know. Couldn't care less at this point. All I want is a warm bath, sleep, and wait for this dreadful day to end. Now, if only Isabella would stop babbling, then maybe this dull throbbing at the side of my head won't turn into a full-blown headache, too.
Zach did a pretty good job with his movie, didn't he? Even though Ash said he ran into some trouble late into filming. But I knew he had it in him. It's not like I didn't believe he couldn't do it. I mean, did you see his face after the credits rolled? All those months he worked on this. And everything's finally...
You weren't even watching.
Look at her expression. Holy shit. Holy shit, does she not give a fuck?
Only the first minutes. I watched the rest of it, I swear. Besides, Ashton was the one who wouldn't stop asking questions.
Well, why do we still need to talk about this then? I liked it. Ash liked it. You liked it. Shouldn't you be telling that to Zachary in person? I'm sure he'll appreciate it better than I ever will.
I know that, but maybe there's something you want to say? Zach had you check the scripts before he went through everything, didn't he? You also worked on it, even if it was only for a short time. So, maybe you want to...
And about her waiting for the rest. The moment I spot my car, I immediately make a quick beeline for it. Knowing her, it is merely another attempt at starting conversation, just so we'll have something to fill the dead air, to replace the strained atmosphere we somehow walked into. One thing, the very thing, I'm not keen to deal with at present. Beside me, Isabella also changes her pace to match mine, her soft strides growing brisk and even uneven to catch up. A small part of me half expects she'll suddenly trip. She's not the clumsy sort, but there are definitely times when she can be the least coordinated person on the planet.
Hey! Oh no. Wait for me!
And people wonder why I worry. They're not really completely unfounded once you've grown familiar with her habits. Though right now this is the very end of the list of things I want to think about. Sometimes it does become overbearing. Even her voice as she calls me sounds nothing more than background noise to my ears now.
Rebecca, slow down, will you? Your car's not going to leave without us.
The sooner we get on the road, the earlier we can get home. It's Friday, in case you didn't notice.
I know what day it is. The traffic's not going to magically disappear, even if we go there right now.
I don't want to hear that from you. Didn't you used to complain how horrendous the traffic is back home for you?
Yeah? But that doesn't have anything to do with this, Becca.
Okay. What do you want to do then? Wait it out? Walk? I just want to go home, Isabella. If you want to stay out here longer, I won't stop you. But leave me out of it. I'm not up for any other foolish excursions tonight.
I wasn't thinking about an excursion. I want to go home too. It's already late. It's just that you've been in this prickly mood since earlier.
Oh, here we go!
Was it the cold? Or did something happen at school?
Maybe I had to drive all the way from your dumbass to like a totally different fucking place. A long pause follows, and it holds everything she's been meaning to ask from the very start. I'm in no mood, but all the same, my hand stops short of unlocking my car. My grip on the handle tightens. I could feel her eyes boring on me, waiting, hoping patiently for any answers I'd give. She's the same as Zachary, they're bad liars. And when you talk to people like them, if you're not careful, they often leave you with no choice but to admit the truth. Those exact same ones I can't voice. Despite my lack of response, she pushes on surprisingly. This time her tone is quieter, more tentative than usual.
Was it because of the letter?
It's a well-meaning question, much like the rest of this talk. Yet, something in how she says it irks me.
I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to cause a scene. I I did see something in the mansion, though. I wasn't lying about that.
Wherever she wants to take this, I no longer want to hear a word of it. Not at this minute. Preferably never. Especially when there are already a million other things buzzing and prodding inside my head. Sometimes my patience can only be tried for so long. I'm not in the mood to talk. Just tell her how it is.
House, even if there were a lot of people around, there were weird things happening. I don't know if there was anyone else who noticed, but I heard
We
things.
literally just told her we didn't want to do this.
I'm sure it wasn't because I fell down the stairs.
Why are we doing this?
Even before that, in the attic.
Will you give the sorting letter a rest already?
That's what I'm saying! The effect is immediate. Abruptly, Isabella clamps her mouth shut. Hurt flickers across her face as she looks away and her shoulders droop, all before the thought of holding back my tone or how she'd like to take every word across my mind. When the realization does hit, after a twinge of guilt washes over me at once. But, with all that's already been said and done, what am I supposed to tell her then? That I'm someone who can be so easily unsettled by my own assumptions? That the stupid sulk has been brought about by some equally stupid jealousy? That the simple glimpse of her and my childhood friend together infuriates a part of me? Or that I wish that I'd been in her place during those times instead? True or not, I owe her neither of these. And if anything, she's the last person I want to know about.
Look here. I'm not in the mood for this kind of talk tonight. My head is aching and I'm tired. I don't want to hear about the dumb letter or the mansion or whatever it was you saw in the bloody attic. Just get in the car and we're going home.
Sorry. I won't mention it again.
If you're so worried about it, why don't you just throw the blasted thing away?
You make it sound so easy.
Because it is. Here, hand it over and I'll do it for you. Might as well shred it up while we're at it.
I hold out my hand to her, though the gesture is without any expectations. She's nothing if not stubborn, and it isn't surprising when she turns down the offer with the swat of her hand.
Rebecca, just leave it alone, okay? I get it. You don't want anything to do with it.
Good. I hope that settles it.
Yeah, just forget I mentioned anything. I'll figure it out myself.
That makes me stop again. This time I turn to her, searching her face for an explanation, but all she offers me is a sidelong glance and another one of those pained looks before climbing in the passenger seat and closing the door behind her. Somehow, even with the steady din of traffic around us, the sound of that feels heavier, weighted with everything we refuse to utter tonight. This is what I want, isn't it? It certainly doesn't feel like it. Thankfully, if there's anything left to be spoken between us, we won't have to discuss it on the way home, or rather we can't, because no sooner than we hit the road, Isabel dozes off. Despite my foul mood, I end up suppressing laughter once the first sounds of her breathing fill the car.
Not your mom, Isabella.
Slow and steady, the quiet rhythm is completely unlike her. So far removed from every impression everyone has of her. Few faint whispers will occasionally come from her, but otherwise it's just us, the silence, and it's so utterly unexpected. Still, a warm break, of course. Peace and quiet is one thing you'll rarely get with her around. Yet it's nowhere near comforting. It merely lends the air this strange clarity. Every little sound, every little moment more palpable, and with it comes unease. The jolted surprise hits me. It's almost comical, as if there was a different situation. In my haste, I accidentally dislodged my mobile from my seat on the dashboard when I swiped the screen, soon scrambling blindly for it with my other hand while keeping a steady eye on the road ahead. A voice crackles from the loudspeakers before I can put it back. Although muffled heavily by surface, I recognize the person on the other line in a chipper tone.
Hello? Miss Cooper?
Oh, you're still awake. Evening. I hope I didn't disturb you or anything. I know it's a bit late. Sorry about that.
Yeah, what up, Vincent?
I just want to check on you and Isabella. That girl's still not answering her mobile. Were you able to meet up with her?
Yes. She's with me. We're on our way home.
Hello? What was that again? I can't hear you properly.
Sorry. Let me just fix this dumb phone.
My hand stops dead for a moment. I spare the device a brief glance, waiting. Seconds pass. Nothing happens, though. Frankly, I'm not sure what I'm expecting, but the lines of my mouth form a frown regardless.
Miss Cooper?
Yes, still here.
Did you say something?
Just that I didn't get the last part. What were you saying again?
No, I thought you... Never mind. Must be the signal acting up. Come again?
What?
Is everything all right over there?
Certainly. Is something wrong? Why wouldn't? Okay, you seem to be busy. If this is good time, I can just call you back some,
I had to make a conscious effort not to panic right there and then, although my tight hold on the steering wheel tells a different story
Miss
altogether.
Cooper! Rose? Hey, Rose! Are you still there?
Only a burst of static answers me, and maybe this lapse is entirely because of exhaustion. It has been a long day, and I haven't recovered from last week's bout of flu, contrary to what I've been telling people. Though perhaps had I paid closer attention to it, had I not been so occupied with the other thoughts, I probably would have noticed earlier that it never came from my phone, but from someone right behind me. I don't know why that's funny, but it for sure is. Time slows. Go! Mother. Looking up was a mistake. I agree. The first thing I see is its face, a ghastly shade, every inch battered, bruised, and bloodied. Even darkness and the world passing by and a blur of lights outside, I can make out the wounds. Blood still oozing from it, little trails of crimson running down its face, glistening under the little light there is. And it is in the gleams of its eyes that catches mine, the quiet plea, the anguish, and the desperation in them, more than its hideous features and the awful stench of gore now soaking the air. And try as I might, I can't bring myself to look away, even as the lips contort into a horrific smile, even as the sharp, harsh noise pierces the air and the silence around us.
Huh? Car! Eyes on the road!
Against everything I've been taught, and I've constantly reminded myself to close my eyes. It's a brief moment. A short, vivid second of muscle memory and instinct completely taking over. If I didn't allow it, my hands didn't move or my feet didn't hit the brakes in that exact second, I might have... Isabella and I might have... No. I shake the notion away before I lose myself in it. Right now it's an ugly line of thought I refuse to venture into. Not when breathing is a struggle, and every ounce of strength has been totally drained from my body. Most definitely not while Isabella's panicked voice still beside me still rings in my ears. We're alive. We're safe. That's all that matters. But it's not her face that I look for when I open my eyes. It's gone. I expected stains, little tongue marks and creases on the covers to show me where it sat not seconds ago. But whatever it is, left not a single trace. And though courage is a hard thing to gather at this point, I take what little of it remains in me and turn towards the back seat. Even then, there's none. Or was there really somewhere something in the first place there? With how empty it is, I'm beginning to doubt it. Stupid flu.
I need a long rest after this.
My hands fall uselessly to my sides, numb from how taut my grip on the wheel is gone, yet still trembling from the unexpected rush of adrenaline. Against my ears, my heart still pounds in an erratic rhythm. My breathing hasn't slowed down. The world's already righted itself without waiting for me. Little by little, second by second, I sit there motionless. Color begins to seep back around me. Along with it are the sounds in a voice, no longer indistinct ringing it was earlier.
Becca! Are you okay? Answer me, will you? You're scaring me. You know what? I think we should just call a taxi since...
Can you keep it down?
Strained, harsh, and completely unintentional. But with heat prickling at the back of my eyes and a mild throbbing in my temple, I honestly could do with a little silence for now.
Keep it down? We almost crashed, Becca.
I know what happened. It was a lapse. I'm sorry.
A lapse? You call that a lapse? Becca, I really don't want to end up a mangled mess on the side of the road. Or a mangled mess anywhere. All I'm asking, if the time ever comes, which I hope isn't right now, is a peaceful death. Give that one to me at least. Not that I'm asking for it, but please.
Isabella. Belle, you're overreacting. If you're so worried, why don't you drive?
Don't have a license.
I keep telling you to get one, didn't I? For the past 5 years. Do you see why now?
I wasn't really expecting to stay here this long. I thought it'd just be for a year or two.
All of a sudden, pensive mood comes to her. Isabella looks away, then what's left of my little lecture never crosses the tip of my tongue. I don't allow it to, because in each of those words she let loose earlier is a small truth. Her stay has always been meant to be something fleeting. earn some good money, go home. That's what she'd tell herself during her first year here. Now, half a decade later, I'm not sure she still believes that. Even I'm not sure if I still believe it. And if there's something in her reasons that has changed along the way, even if I have a hunch, there's one thing I've never but to ask. Those are hers to keep.
I'll be careful this time, I promise. Just please, can we give this whole thing a rest for now?
She nods, and that's the end of it. We spend the rest of the trip back to Salem, well, in silence. All thoughts of an overactive imagination playing tricks on a flu-addled mind, and the smiles never meant for my eyes abandoned, if only for a brief moment. Dot. Tuesday. Well, we went from Friday to Tuesday, so we had a 3-day skip. That bitch teaches children. Nice! It begins innocently enough. Tuesday morning arrives like any other day before it bright and clear. Even though it comes with an extra helpful of the unusual October weather, I appreciate being able to catch a glimpse of clear skies lately. After going through a sickness last week, it does something to lift the mood that would otherwise be a dreary morning. And despite being mostly a creature of habit, I wind up waking earlier than usual because of it. Still no earlier than Isabella, it appears. I've assumed she'll take a day or two off because what happened to Miss Cooker, but that doesn't seem to be the case. The sound of the morning news drifts from her unit, and I walk past on the way to my mailbox. Chances are, around this hour, she's already dressed and ready to go. Probably waiting for the next bus to arrive. I've tried following her example before, but I don't think I'll be repeating it.
Really? How can anyone be up before the sun is up?
Holy shit, chat, that's the first thing Rebecca said that I agree with. It's a habit since she got home, she said, instilled in her the kind of life she grew up in. Like clockwork, it's always at 4 a.m. Either to help with the chores or prepare her little siblings for school. Surprised me for the first time. She doesn't look like someone who could. In the end, I've simply passed it off as one of the many things anyone will have to get used to around her. Not that I'll ever fully understand. Can we just talk about like how like absolutely obnoxious Rebecca is? She's like super condescending to like everyone around her, and she's like obsessed with Isabel. Like, no wonder Ash doesn't like you. You're the worst. I'm my parents' only child. We aren't well off, but so far I've lived a relatively easy life. I didn't have to think about bills or food for the next day or paying for any of the siblings' tuition on top of my own, or supporting a sick mom's medication. All I had to worry about were my grades. If it gained mom and dad's approval, or what we'd be having for dinner. When put next to hers, they all pale in comparison. They look less like problems, more like petty issues this way.
Petty issues?
Oh my god. But unimportant as it all sounds, sometimes its ugly head rears at the most inappropriate moments. And sometimes they come through your mailbox in the form of a fancy-looking letter, ribbons and all. Whoever sent this has spent silly money on the envelope alone. Verging on ridiculous, really. I can already imagine Isabel wrinkling her nose when she sees this. She'll probably complain about the unnecessary expenses and rich people problems. I'm also afraid to touch it myself. As if simply brushing a hand against a crisp surface will be enough to put a crease in it. It'll be a terrible slight to the sender. But as extravagant as I find it, isn't really the first time I've received one. Most of the time, it's not even for me, but so who am I to complain? Either way, no look of surprise crosses my face once I flip the envelope over to see my parents' names written in
Nothing
script.
new, then.
Their years in the academe naturally brought with various connections. People from other fields, arts, science, business, politics, you name it. This one, though, gives off a much personal vibe. Letters like this usually come from old students. People who've grown fond of my parents, and they, in turn, treat like children of their own. I've only met a few of them. Most of them have moved on to become successful in their chosen careers, and little letters like this are their way of expressing gratitude. It's one thing Mom and Dad are really proud of, rightfully so, and I'm happy for them. But there are times I wish they'd remember they have a daughter here. I hate you so much. Not that that's any importance right now. It's not like they didn't raise me well or provide for me. They did. I wouldn't be where I am if it weren't for their hard work. And like a dutiful child, I have to do everything I can to give back. Even if it's a small thing, is letting them know they got mail from me waiting for them. The phone rings for a good minute before someone answers. Mom, and her voice is warm as I remember. Holy shit.
Hi, Mum.
Literacy.
How's the conference going?
Well enough. Until your dad sprained his ankle.
Oh no, is it bad?
I'm alright. In case anyone in this family cares to listen, I'm alright. Very much alive, darling.
And there you have it. He'll be up and walking in a few weeks, don't worry. We're going to have to extend our stay here until it heals, though. Is something the matter?
Nothing big. Just that this mail arrived for you this morning.
A lie. Thankfully, she doesn't notice. Although, if I'm going to be honest, a small part of me yearns for her to do so and ask me about it, but I put down that idea almost as soon as it surfaces. How would she know? I wouldn't make them fret. They're busy.
What does it say?
Raise your glasses. Give cheers to the good times. Blah, blah.
Becca manners. That isn't how I taught you to read.
Sorry. You are cordially... it's an invitation, Mum, for a housewarming party. From, Hannah?
The name rings a bell. Though at the moment I can't recall when or where I've heard it recently. Must be nothing too important if I didn't bother committing it to memory. There are lots of Hannahs in the world, so who knows?
Hannah.
It's almost like she has the last name!
She also wrote you a note, Mum. It says you used to be her private tutor at the Evans mansion, and that she misses you and would love to see you two again.
Makes my heart clench to read another openly say those words to them. The same ones I want to tell them. I want to see you too. It's been years since we've been together as a family, but if there's one thing that hasn't changed from childhood, it's that Mom and Dad are still busy with their respective careers. You're telling me you can't, visit them? You can't go visit them at some point? Rebecca is such a shit stirrer, chat. I can't tell my parents I love them and I want to visit them. It would sound like excuses. I'm so jealous that this random person wrote a letter because I can't be bothered to fucking do it. Out of the country, away on some meeting symposiums, sometime for months on end. It only grew more frequent with the years until I'm old enough to live on my own. I'd like to think that that's how I've become independent. Such an early age. They've always praised me for it, but at times I wish they didn't.
Evans? Oh, I remember now. Honey, it's Hannah. Hannah Evans. Remember? Bright girl, 2 years older than Becca?
Didn't she get married a few years ago? 7 now, I think. But, they grow up so fast, these kids.
Yeah, she invited us to that too. Fonte de Medici. But we missed that one because you had to present your paper in Singapore.
We did send her a note after. Still a shame we couldn't attend, though. What is it about this time?
She sent another invite. For a housewarming party. Becca, when is it?
This Friday, Mum.
Oh, that's too bad. We'd love to be there. But Da's not in a condition to go walking around. I guess we'd have to decline again. I really miss that girl.
I could go in your place.
I would have slipped out without thinking. Personally, I've never been fond of gatherings, regardless of how simple people make it seem. But it's one thing I hate hearing. That disappointed note Mom's voice always ranks first. Whether it's directed at me or something else, doesn't matter.
Don't you have work this Friday?
The event will be in the evening, Mum. It shouldn't take anything away from my schedule. It's all right.
Schedule.
For 2 people. I can bring someone with me so things don't get boring.
I see. Maybe you can also invite Ashton?
Mum, that's a sure no from him. He hates attending parties. But I'll see what I can do.
At the right mansion, he's in.
If not, I can always bring Isabella with me. You know her. She won't say no if there's food involved.
Okay, if it's not going to be a big problem for you, I don't see why not. We owe you this one, darling.
No problem, Mum. I'll even say hi to Hannah for you.
Please do.
It's like that's the whole point of you going.
Once we're back in the city. Leave her a number or something.
I will.
But you know, the two of you would have become really good friends. Don't you remember? You met with her once. If my memory serves me right, you were 12 then?
Hey, chat. If we get the chance to kill Rebecca, I'm not hesitating. This, too, I can't recall. It's probably one of those meetings that we only talked about for a bit before going our ways. If she did leave an impression, I'm sure I would have written about it somewhere, or at least recognized her name. As it is, the only people I clearly remember from that time in my life is Ashton and Mandy, to some extent. Mom must have sensed my confusion because she
Don't
laughs.
push yourself too hard, darling. Really? It felt like having 2 daughters back then. Sometimes I wish they didn't send her away to boarding school. But, well, you know how often that goes with them. Still, try talking to her while you're there.
Oh, we'll see. I'll let you know what happens
try
after.
Try talking to the person that you're going to the housewarming party for.
I'm looking forward to it, darling.
Have a conversation with them. A brief convo. I mean, it might be difficult for you though, because you girl are a massive.
Will do. You too, Mum. Bye. Tell Dar to be careful next time.
Feels good. She chuckles then. A hearty one, tender and always light on my ears. She may be a stern teacher, but this is part of what I love her the most. The sound of it echoes even as her call comes to an abrupt end, bringing with it the memory of so many years ago, when life and responsibilities in the company and adulthood are things far from our minds. If given the chance, I'd love to go back to those. I don't dwell on it though, because shaking it away from me almost as soon as my memory forms a clear picture in my head. I've always wondered how Isabella could pretend it. Oh, I don't care. There's nothing coming out of this that's fucking important. Dots. 15 minutes later, I'm headed back out, dressed for the day, my car keys in hand. Ordinarily, I can't stop for anything. There's no need to. That's the beauty of this apartment complex. It's quiet and everyone keeps themselves. No useless platitudes in the morning. No need to wear a smile on your face unless the other people are nosy enough to ask. Today, however, the morning broadcaster still plays from Isabella's room. My brush pace slows to a stop and a frown gradually forms on my face. Of course, this isn't unusual. There are times when I've left earlier than she did, like last Friday before their open house. But those days are far and few in between. It only happens in the direst circumstances, though the last part of that might be a bit of an exaggeration. However, with everything that's happened the last few days, maybe today is one. The death of a friend isn't something that anyone can brush off. And for someone like Isabella's the kind who gets attached to people easily. With Zachary, Ashton, and I, that has been the case. I can't imagine what she could possibly be going through right now, especially the one with someone she owed a lot, despite their training being brief. I've given her the space last night in difference, but perhaps today might be a proper time to check on her.
Whatever. I've still got time anyway.
Chat, I'm convinced Rebecca's a fucking psycho. With light steps, I move closer to her door, hand already posed a knock. Still, I don't do so until I hear her answer to me.
Belle, are you in there?
Like she overthinks everything, and everything she thinks is terrible. After a second, I finally knock. Lightly, so don't disturb her in case she's sleeping, and has merely left the telly running last night. Never mind how she never lets that happen, ever. Waste electricity and all.
I just want to check on you before I leave. Is that okay? Are you going to work today, Belle?
Still nothing.
I'm about to leave. If you want, I can drop you off.
Another round of knocking. Then I'm fishing out a copy of her key from my bag and unlocking the door. She left it years ago after I complained about the mess and offered my help in cleaning up. I thought the gesture was completely unnecessary back then. After all, I could always knock, but she never did bother taking them from me, always returning it or turning it away for the conversation whenever I insist. At one point, I simply stopped trying to hand it back to her.
Isabella, I'm coming in, all right?
Without waiting for the answer, I pushed the door open and stepped inside. Her unit's still a mess. Instant noodle cups on the table, pile of clothes on one side, papers strewn everywhere, and uncut bend of other things. This much is given. Will always be a given. Been here several times already, and I wonder how she can function like a human being with a place like this. However, that's neither here nor there. I'm not sure what I'm expecting, but it's certainly not finding an empty flat. Granted, she could have left earlier, far earlier than usual. But she never, ever leaves without making sure she's unplugged everything. That's something she doesn't forget to do. Doesn't help that her bathroom appears unused this morning. Another habit, no calling me she hasn't been here since last night? Perhaps even since the morning after Miss Cooper's death? Either idea doesn't sit well with me with the news we've been hearing.
The authorities are still trying to find the cause of death for all the victims. Early investigation revealed most of them were employed under Briar Realty Corporation at the time of death. Meanwhile, BRC has refused to comment on this.
Great! Got him at once, I immediately placed a call to her mobile. She slept at Zach's, right? I know it's been a really long time since we've gotten this together, but she had a freak out last night, and then she slept over at Zach's. Rings for a good minute, the sound of comfort in it. Before just not doing anything. I'm a little prone to panicking. Something about the temper maybe, but never panicked, despite how I sound when I was speaking. Well, ultimately goes straight to voicemail. Sighs, the only thing I left out. The pause doesn't last long now. The next moment, my fingers are already moving across the screen in search of two people who might be able to help. It's Ashton's number find first and dial. Call it in habit, but Isabella thinks he's dependable when the situation calls for it, despite how much they give each other grief. That already says a lot about him. There's Zachary, but at this hour he's probably still sleeping. He has freelance work. It's very likely he's just got himself to bed. He's the last person I want to bother, if anything. The wait doesn't take long. Soon a click from Ashton's voice echoes to the receiver, rough and heavy from sleep. He never did go fond of mornings.
Christ, what time is it? What's up?
Not you, apparently.
Good one. Did you call us early just to make that joke?
Yes.
I'm going back to sleep.
No, Ash, hold on. This is important.
Becca, stakeout last night. Make this quick. I've still got a few hours before the chief bothers me.
Sorry, I'll let you go back to sleep after. It's just that... Wait, you were on a stakeout last night?
Did I say that? Shit. this conversation.
So, you have no idea?
About what? About what? I also have no idea why we're talking so early in the morning, so there's that.
No! Will you stop sleep talking or whatever for a second? Belle didn't come home last night. She's gone!
Who?
Isabella!
Instead of answering, a brief pause comes after, followed by something blunt and heavy hitting a hard surface in a string of rather colorful curses from him. That moment might have been one of many things that I'll keep to myself and remember fondly for the next few days that things weren't quite the way they are. When he picks up again, there's no trace of sleep left in his voice.
Say that again, from the top.
Isabella's gone, Ash. She didn't come home last night. Her flat's empty. She left her telly running. You know she doesn't do that at...
Okay, Becca, stop. Calm down first. You're starting to panic.
I'm not!
You are. Breathe. One person's not going to simply disappear like that. This is Isabella we're talking about. Did you try calling her?
What did you think is the first thing I did? She's
Got
not picking
him.
up. It
Got
was
him.
voicemail.
How about Zach? Did you check with him?
Not yet. I didn't want to bother him. You know he has trouble sleeping and all that.
All right, I'll go ask Zach. I'll call you back.
No, wait!
He ends the call before he can utter a word of protest. For the first time since entering the room, tension is gone from my shoulders and my breathing is eased. The bed creaks as I sink down on the side, the telly still blaring the same uninteresting news, and I'm surrounded by clutter. At the same time, it feels strangely calm to be here without the worries nagging me. I'll have to apologize to Zachary later for sending Ashley's way this early. But for now, relying on the ladder for this isn't the wrong choice. Never will be. That's the thing I won't ever doubt in him, much like his promises. And true to his word, he calls back only a few minutes later, after the last one has ended.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. She could have at least sent a message last night.
What are you, her mother?
Got her! V2. It's one thing to hear from Isabel, but from
I
Ashton...
don't want to hear anything like that from you.
I'm serious. You've got to stop treating her like she's one of your students, Becca. You don't have to keep tabs on her every time. Last I checked, she's only 3 years younger than the two of us. That's almost a decade gap from those kids you're teaching, you know.
Says the person who keeps calling her Scaredy Cat.
That's not related at all. Anyway, I'll go check how she's doing. Don't stress yourself out. You go ahead to work.
Wait, you? Don't you have a precinct to be at? Whatever happened to not treating her like one of my students? Because if anyone's going to ask me, I think you're doing the same thing.
Zach said it's an emergency.
Yeah, what up, Kirby?
Something happened last night.
Emergency?
Yeah, why don't you start
Not
with
in
that?
those exact same words, but it sounded like it.
Ash, what really happened? Is Isabella fine?
She's alright. She's safe. Zach let her stay the night after she... Look, okay. Z-Man wasn't clear about it, but let me handle this. I'll check on her. I'll bring her home.
Sounds like a lie if I've ever heard one. The sort where he admits things so people won't fret. And I'm not sure whether I should be happy that he cares so much to do that. Just got out of school. Nice, dude. There shouldn't be a need for this between us. Is there? We grew up together, didn't we? He knows I'm capable of at least hearing out the truth without gnawing at me for the rest of the day. He knows me better than that. Hold on, 2 second chat. I am like losing my mind. Cool. 2 segundos. I know him better than that. Frankly, there are plenty of other things to say about this. Oh my god, things are breaking. Stop it. But despite and after all the trouble we went through with how things are moving at the moment, only one thought occurs to me. What should I say? I can handle it. Everybody hates her. Good. Why does he have to get to such lengths for a person he only met 5 years ago? I wish I could ask him that. I wish I could simply say to his face and finally get a straight answer from him instead of whatever it is we're doing. Instead of beating around the bush.
You've done enough, Ash. Let me take it from here.
Chat, if I just like skip all of her like fucking bullshit in her head,
Yeah,
am I gonna miss
someone
anything?
has to check on her.
Oh, oops, sorry.
And
Don't you have a class to teach today? Tuesdays are your busiest this school year, aren't they?
yeah, but someone has to check on her. And I don't
Minecraft,
want to
you
impose
spelled it
on you
wrong.
any further. I've already disturbed your sleep.
You're not imposing. Besides, I'm doing you a favor. I know you, Becca. You hate being late or missing a day of work for a very small thing. Leave this to me.
You said you're waiting for a call from the chief.
I'm dropping by the precinct anyway. There's some trouble I have to fix with those guys. It won't be completely out of the way.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a huge Minecraft event, guys, in December. We are sending out, I guess not sending out, but we're putting out like the application stuff. So if you're interested, be sure to fill that out so we can get you in the Discord and stuff. But it's going to be a huge thing. I'm looking forward to it. I think that there's already like 10 people in that Discord. And it's only going to go up from there. It's great. Yeah, there's 10 people in that Discord. I haven't checked the forums in a few days, but I'm pretty sure there's a few other ones that are waiting. So it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. It is Java. So, you know, normal stuff. That's about it. Cool.
Ashton,
Trail off. You just don't care. Just do not care. Why does Discord pop up randomly sometimes?
Okay, whatever you want to do.
I'll let you know what happened afterwards. I promise.
Any mods? It is going to be heavily modded. We're trying to get something called the Bounce SMP. I'm just waiting for it to officially be released mod pack wise, because there's a ton of custom mods in that survival multiplayer pack. And it's supposed to be released by the end of the month, but if it isn't released, we'll end up tinkering probably all the mods 8 for the server. But I'm hoping we can get Bounce. If we can get the Bounce SMP, that would be much neater, because there's a lot of things I'd love to do with that.
I'll call you later. You have a good day. Bye.
Especially because it's going to be a creator-heavy server, so I'd love to see what a lot of them do with it. Because there's like things that you can do that are like custom emotes and a whole bunch of other stuff. So it's a really cool pack. I can't deal with any more of her psycho shit. Look at this. Look at this.
No, that's got nothing with what I heard.
Thank God.
You always hear stuff. I'm not sure if half of them's even real.
No, really. Rowan knows about it. He used to be in the same class with them.
Dixper?
I can hear
What do
you
mean,
from
Dixper?
back here, you know.
Whatever, Rowan. Anyway, the story goes like this. There were 3 of them.
It's on,
They
just
entered
like
the
usual.
mansion on a dare, and they were all never seen again. No one knows what happened to them. Up to this day. Scary
Is it
shit,
going to be
man.
with the Minecraft
Cock and
event?
bull
I
story.
probably will have it on.
Calm
I almost
it
always
down.
have it on.
No,
I'd be really
you
surprised if I
get
don't.
it. Why
But
don't you
it's
ask
not
and
going to be like
scale them?
everyone has to
Better
have
yet,
it or
why don't you
anything.
go inside the place? I'm betting my allowance you can't do it.
Their talk immediately halts and I look at them, all of them suddenly pretending to be engrossed in their current activity. Still worried I'd put a stopper into it. Creativity and imagination fostering the story is one thing, but reckless ideas should be corrected before anything potentially tragic.
Back to your worksheets, everyone. And I don't want to hear any talk of dares or going inside that mansion. It's private property now. You'd all better stay away from it before...
Dots. At the noise, the whole lot of them go silent. You can almost hear a pin drop. The look on their faces would have made for a funny picture, but it's irrelevant at the moment. If that is a student loitering around, someone's
I'll
gonna be
be
in trouble.
back. If you're done, you can leave your worksheets on my desk. Keep the noise to a minimum while I'm gone, okay?
Sets her eyes on me as I walk in the door. A muted kind of anticipation. A bit unnerving, but it's far more agreeable than the feeling of being watched I've endured these past few days. Class is still in session. For what day is it now? What? We didn't have a day shift. Class is in session for most of the rooms. In a few hours, once the final bell rings, however, this place will once again be busy, filled with chatter, and I don't give a shit. I'm about to turn around when the sound of it halts my footsteps. It's a little muffled and infrequent, but grows louder after each interval. With the hallway devoid of people, if I don't put a stop to it soon, it'll start to disturb other classes still going on. Looking for it doesn't take long. All I do is follow the racket, and shortly I'm standing in front of a nondescript row of unoccupied lockers. And from inside one of them, sitting in the middle, comes a noise. Annoyingly disruptive now that I'm facing it. Like someone's pounding on the metal door from inside, hoping to get out. Leaning forward, trying to get a glimpse through the horizontal slats of whatever's causing it. But its light, only darkness greets me for another round of clanging. Louder than the previous one. More desperate. I've heard stories before from other schools, from a few colleagues who had to deal with it once or twice. Although personally I've never encountered one myself, I can only thank heavens I haven't yet.
If this is another kid some other student stuffed in a locker.
You played Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl? Yes. Yes, I did. With a huff, I straighten up and briefly with a frown. Blah, blah, blah. At once, it stops. That's actually a great time to mention, chat. We will be doing a streamathon for Pokemon Scarlet. Good try, by the way, there, Care. I saw that. Good try. We're going to do a streamathon because you guys hit level 50 with the Dixper event. How do you get the drill thing? It's after the first gym. That I believe there's a place that you can unlock it. I don't remember. It's been a while. The last run I did of Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl was like a speedrun thing. And I didn't even get the underground. Actually, no, that was normal diamond. Immediately replaced by the muffled sound of a phone ringing. I gave the door a few raps before taking my attention away. A second. Another. When nothing or no one responds, I finally avert my eyes and pull out my mobile. Ashton's voice greets me from the other end of the line, oddly cheerful in light of this morning's matters, or because I'm expecting some grave news with seriousness from him. So look at this.
Well, you sound happy.
Holy shit.
I do? My voice still sounds the same to me.
There are only two things I know that could be the reason for that tone. Sweets, or he's got a good lead in this case. From the sound of it, I'm assuming the former, since lately, that case is all that's running inside his head. There's ever a third one, I've never heard of it yet. It can only be one of those two.
Ignore that. How's Isabella?
Drove her home a few minutes ago. I think she's sleeping now. Sorry this took a while. Z-Man gave us the puppy eyes after we tried to leave. Had some food prepared for us, apparently. We didn't have the heart to say no.
Oh my god, I remember
That's
that.
all
That
right.
was like 20
Is she
minutes.
okay now?
I'm not really sure.
Chat, there's a reason we haven't beaten this game in... What is this, the fourth year of Horrorween we've done the letter?
It was a passing comment before I left her, so I didn't get to ask.
Must
We're
be
gonna
because
finish
of
it this
Rose's
year.
death.
Only does 2 streams.
It doesn't seem like it from Zach's story, though. He said she was shaking.
We're not
when she
gonna
got
finish
there.
it this year, guys.
Shaking?
I know it. I know it. The word triggers in memory from 3 days ago on the way home from her little treat after she sold the mansion. I didn't think much of it at the time, I won't lie. It scared me. The terrified look on her face, how she said it when she suddenly screamed.
Still there?
Yeah. I just remembered something. Sorry, don't mind me.
Look, if you can talk to her, get the story out of her. That would be great. She wouldn't talk to Zach or me even when I tried. Maybe she'll speak up if it's you.
I'll give it a go, but I can't promise anything, okay? You know how stubborn she can get. But thanks for letting me know about this.
No problem. If anything comes up, just drop me a line, okay?
Story updated. Nice. Short pause before he cuts the call from his end. And once again, I'm alone with my thoughts. But rather than answers, all I got from him is questions. More of them. One on top of the other. Is that the world isn't planning to give me a break anytime soon? Nope.
All right, enough eavesdropping. All of you, back to your seats.
Is that your boyfriend, Miss Scales?
None of your business.
He totally is.
A quick scuffle follows that command. If there's a retort prepared at the tip of my tongue, I don't care.
Must be the wind.
Yep, that's how lockers work. Nice.
Nothing wrong with that.
I just don't.
Really, those two give me too much credit.
Just gonna have to just. It's a cafe time, chat.
Lucky there isn't one tonight.
A few people riding around the corner, 4 of them, in fact. The other 2, a posh-looking man and child, who I immediately recognize as Kylie, appear to have yet picked anything they want. For some reason, my sterling goes with the guy. Though dressed relatively well and looking harmless, I haven't seen him around these parts before. Someone in the neighborhood, perhaps? Even so, there's something familiar in him, like I've seen him someplace before. Oh, you know that locker wind, always an issue in schools. If it's not that, it's hormones from bullying, chat! Oh, dear God.
2, evening special, takeout.
No.
Look, you little ankle biter. If I buy you the biggest parfait they have, will you please behave? I would just like 10 minutes of peace and quiet.
You said you'll
such a dick.
Yeah, well, darling, they said they ran out of it. Just pick another one so we can be on our way.
That parfait doesn't look as cute as the one my mom bought me.
Parfait is just ice cream, sweetheart. It'll melt no matter how dainty it appears.
You playing as
In the
Rebecca?
end,
I am.
It'll all look like an ugly puddle. Now come on,
Ankle
just
biter.
pick one.
It could even be the most expensive one on that list. I don't give a shit. I don't care. You know what I would give for someone to buy you off my hands right now.
I'm not gonna lie. This is the first time I've liked Luke. What? My whole attention instantly snaps back to their conversation. Jumping to conclusions is nothing I'm particularly fond of, especially when I have these baseless assumptions. But you really can't trust strangers these days. No one around the cafe seems to notice his words either. Very suspicious words. Still, I don't move! But, I don't move. Yet. But my hands already shifted from my wallet to the book of carrying. A hard-bound textbook. Looks harmless, but if the situation calls for it, it might be a deadly weapon. Might? I haven't given the chance to try it anywhere so far. Today could be the day! Rebecca is a psycho. Chat.
How about a Bonifay pie? I'm sure it'll taste just as good as any other bread pudding. I'll even buy you the entire tray. How does that sound?
That's not what you said before.
Well, sweetheart, adults change their minds sometimes.
You said if I come with you, you'll buy me a bread pudding, and I did, and now you won't keep your promise. I want to go home. I miss Mama.
No, darling, if I remember correctly, and I have a good memory, honey. What I said was, if you come quietly with me, I might buy you one. The quiet part didn't happen. Though now that I'm sober, I think this is a bad idea. And I should just ship you someplace else for that peace and quiet.
That's it! No hesitation. A few paces within my reach and without warning, I'm slamming the flat area of my book into his skull. There's a cry of pain, followed by him instantly crouching down, hands thrusting his sore spot. Almost comically, as if there was a different situation. The safety of the St. Goretti student isn't at stake. I'd probably feel sorry for him. I mean, has anyone seen how thick this book is?
Get behind me, Kylie.
Miss Pink!
It's amusing how fast your expression changes from the pouty one earlier to something of utter delight upon seeing me. No time for pleasantries, not even quick ones, because soon the man straightens up and I'm running my new favorite weapon for another hit. Except this time he's ready, and before I can lay another, his hand shoots up to catch my wrist in a firm hold. And the look on his face!
Hell, woman, what's your problem?
Kidnapper! Amazing.
What's my problem? You're the one who has a problem here. Rotten bowbags like you don't deserve the freedom to roam this town. What are you doing to this girl?
And why is that any of your business, pray tell?
Oh, it's my business if I make it to be. Now, release me or I'll call the police.
Oh, you think that scares me, Daisy?
Daisy!
You sleazy douchebag.
Oh, I'm sure.
His grip on my hand only tightens when I attempt to shake it off. Assault, she hit him with the book. Oh. Hit him where it hurts.
Mister, you have until the count of 5 to let me go and step out of my personal
Hell
space.
yeah. Fair warning. Fairer than I could offer people of his kind, and I'm already being considerate. Hell, this asshole doesn't even deserve a warning. He doesn't listen to he's as responsible as anyone else. Just do it. Just do it.
Such vulgar words coming out of that pretty mouth. A gorgeous flower like you shouldn't even be saying.
Don't say I didn't warn you, bowbag.
Love that intensity, Daisy. FYI, I like feisty in a woman. It gives them this certain charm. Why don't you?
5.
A second of silence, and without any preamble, my leg moves in one fluid motion, delivers a swift, powerful, well-placed kick to his nether regions. Please, please tell me that's in the backlog. Oh, I can see tears forming at the corner of his eyes, though the mere sight of it prompts not an ounce of remorse for me.
You mad woman!
One more time.
You mad woman!
One more time!
You mad woman!
Beautiful.
I warned you, you ass.
Why, this is harassment, I'm telling you! Harassment!
No, this is assault. This is assault, Luke. We have assaulted you.
Then why don't you tell that to the police once they get here,
You despicable! Whatever you're assuming I am, I'll have you know it's all in your head. You best have that pretty brain of yours checked before that gets worse. What is wrong with you?
Bro, you farted true.
Is this the face of someone who'd do anything suspicious?
Oh? You don't think a stranger luring an innocent child with promises of sweets before whisking them away from their parents doesn't warrant any suspicion? You have a very funny definition of suspicious, asshole. Maybe you're the one who should have that head of yours checked.
The kid asked me to buy her sweets. You're the one who's suspicious here. I'll have you know, I have a wife.
That much, at least, appears to have a sliver of truth.
And even my wife of all people in this bloody city, has never, I'm telling you, accused me of such a scandalous thing! You crazy woman! And even my wife of all people
I want to hear
in this
crazy
bloody
woman
city,
again.
has
That is an
never,
amazing line.
Never, I'm telling you, accused me of such a scandalous thing! You crazy woman!
I'm clipping that. I need that. I need that. We're finding a way, chat, to put that into, like, a thing. She just kicked him in the balls after hitting him with a book.
Married or not, you're still a sleaze.
And then we accused
Honestly,
him
I
of
feel-
kidnapping this child.
Miss Pink, why are you fighting with my teal?
Whatever words are left to be said here dies on my tongue. Sending us with the sleaze. Oh my god. Did you say
Kylie,
Tio?
sweetie, do you know this oaf?
Yeah, he's Teal Luke.
Right at the moment my brain stops. Every line of thought, every argument I still have against the man beside me dissipates in a haze. Amidst all of it, one memory gets triggered from a few days ago.
Tio? The one you mentioned before? The uncle? The guy Rowan wanted to impress? Or was that a dare? I'm sorry, I can't recall. Is it the one who promised he'll take Big Brother someplace cool?
Yeah, the one and the same. Don't you know who he is?
Nope.
He's my Teal Luke, gazillionaire extraordinaire, and the fairy godfather.
He's your godfather. That's nice.
The one and only. Did I get that right, Teal?
More than right, sweetheart. I'm sure Miss Pink here understood everything you said quite perfectly.
Whatever it is landed at the bottom of my stomach fire, shot up to my face and stayed there. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. I love this. Yeah. They're both terrible, so they both were just shitheads. I need to do some damage control before this whole thing goes south. We'll apologize to Luke. That's the right choice. Because that'll get us back to neutral, right? Yeah, a little better. What is this dumb game? Exclamation game always gives you that answer. Yeah. Now that command's working again. Thank the Lord.
I'm really sorry, sir. I had no idea.
His smirk is impossible to miss. Oh.
No, it's an honest mistake, Daisy.
No, I really mean it. I actually thought you were... And then...
It's fine now. It probably happens quite a lot to a few people who look suspicious to you. Seems I'm one of them now. But don't lose sleep over it. Do be careful with that hook, though. A little more, you would have dislodged my poor brain off my head. What would I ever do if that happens?
Oh no! Did it leave a mark or anything? If you want, we can have it checked. I'll handle the expenses if there's a need for it.
Now, what kind of man would I be if I let an attractive woman such as yourself do that? Why don't we just look at it this way?
Oh, he's back to being a creep.
My forgiveness
Beautiful.
is coming from the utter goodness of my heart.
So full of himself. Exactly the kind of person I'd leave to die in a ditch somewhere. She literally assaulted this man.
Of course, sir. Why didn't I think of it that way?
I know, right?
Like, he is an asshole. He is a cheat. He is a terrible person.
But even someone as
But for once, he
capable
didn't
as
do
you
the
is
wrong
bound
thing
to have
here.
a few lapses. No.
Well, if you're going to put it like that, then I guess there's nothing left for us to talk about.
You could say there's a first.
I figured as much.
Awkward. Trungo. Whole exchange is nothing but an awkward display of fake pleasantries. One that brings much agony to the pride I very willingly held back a while ago. I may need a drink later so I can forget this ever happened. Look at how many times I've hit this button. And this is just her complaining and thinking about how terrible the situation was. And then getting the actual order and then leaving. Holy shit! Look! She's ranting about Isabel again. Kylie's in the back seat with the serving of bread pudding in her hands. And besides him, must be his wife. Wrong! Wrong! Why are you in the wrong this time, Remy? The game made me, and I don't really care. I hope I don't ever have to deal with that douche again.
What is she doing there?
Although what happened this morning, the question feels inappropriate to ask directly. What's important is Isabel's here, sitting cross-legged in the hallway, just right in front of her door, with several papers and folders scattered about. Each of them seems as important as the next. Okay. A whole bunch of Briar Realty stuff.
Hello. Sorry to call you this late. There's something I just want to confirm, if that's okay.
Dude,
Yeah.
Rebecca talks to herself
yeah.
for days.
Oh, okay. Thanks anyway. Not that one either.
It's a cycle. She goes through call after call. Then after the last one ends, she shuffles to the pile again and dials in a number. Is it work? I've never seen this engrossed their own work before. Otherwise, she would notice my presence the moment I reached her floor. So she's been here for like 10 minutes just watching her.
Isabella, you know the house rules here.
At once, her head jerks back and hits the concrete wall behind her with a thump.
Becca, you're late.
Yeah, I ran into a little trouble at the cafe. But I brought food for the two of us, if you haven't eaten anything.
As anticipated, she grins once I raise the bag of food I'm holding.
Yeah, maybe later. I've got to finish this first. Just leave it here. I'll eat it once I'm done. Thanks, Becca.
You can't eat this here. You know how the landlady would react. Why are you even working outside? Your room's right there.
I know. Sorry. It just feels stuffy in my apartment right now. I'll go back inside once everything's been aired out. I promise.
That has never bothered you before.
Well, it bothers me now.
Oh, really? Just now? I find that hard to believe.
Yeah? Shouldn't you be happy? I mean, you've been complaining even if it's not your room. Now I know how you're feeling when it's messy, so I'm going to clean. Isn't that a good thing?
In spite of what's supposed to be good news, an exhale comes from me drawn out and
It's
slow.
a good thing, Isabella. Believe me. But you're as bad as Zachary at lying. What's really going on?
She hastily averts her eyes, a surefire indicator this is going to be one of those lengthy conversations that could possibly end with another person angry. Again. Okay.
Isabella, you can tell me. Is it about your family?
Slight movement of her lips, although a frown and a reaction at least.
Rose?
Getting there. She merely shakes her head.
Come
a little more.
on, I know something happened. I don't know if it's because of Rose, but I know it's related to her somehow.
So you're playing through the story, but not really doing anything? Nah, so this is a visual novel, right? So each one of these choices that we get, when they do pop up, ends up creating branching lines that connect to other things, and eventually even end up with character deaths, which I'm hoping is at the end of this one. I'm hoping there's some character deaths. It looks like there's a character death right here. I'm going to do my best to make sure we hit this point right here, because it skips a whole bunch, which means she's probably dead.
You weren't here when I visited this morning.
And each
both
one of those
Zachary
choices
and
impacts
Ashton are
other
worried
stories
about
and
you.
other lines and
If you
other
don't want to
things
tell
and
them,
so on and so
you can
forth.
tell me. Does it
Visual
have
novels are
something to
crazy.
do with work?
If I didn't know her, I might have missed it. She shifts, then her fists clench tight and her teeth biting her lower lip, and then there's fear. The look of terror is the last thing expected to see out of everything. This game we play like every Halloween season, and it's like the 4th year. This is like the 4th year we've done this, and it's still one playthrough. Oh, good God.
She was there again.
So at 100% identity, unlocking every
in the
path?
office?
Yes.
Boss passed me all
Completing
of Rose's
every
work
single
load yesterday
storyline, completing
for the
every
Ermengarde
ending.
Mansion. I had to stay late to
100%
finish
visual
them all,
novels is
and
a
then-
mess.
And then,
But the thing is, you can once you
when I
like
was
do one
about to
path,
go
you can
home,
skip through a lot because they
I
have like a
saw
lot of
her.
similar like portions.
I saw
at, like,
her
the beginning
again.
at least.
She was standing in front of me again last night, Becca. I couldn't get away. She was blocking the door. If I hadn't hidden myself, even if I made the tiniest noise, if she found me, Becca, she almost did. If she saw me under my table, I think that would have been the end of it. I'm scared. I'm so scared I won't be able to do anything.
By the end, her hands are trembling and her breath comes out in rasping intervals. For a long time, let the silence stretch out between us. Let her sobs fill in instead. Okay. Just gonna let her cry for a little bit while we rant in her head. God. Is this why you didn't go home last night? Was that a good relationship choice? Yeah, we're better now.
You should have called me.
There? I can't do that! What will you do? Hit her with a book? You'll be dead before that happens. And
that isn't what I'm talking about. After
I mean,
you got
our
out,
book has
you should've
gotten
phoned
some work
me.
in lately. You don't even
You
know.
didn't have to go to Zachary's.
Right. We've definitely hit people. The corner of her mouth curl up a sheepish smile by general definition, but this is Isabella. Her smile is never half-hearted, never lacks her high spirits. Okay.
oh, yeah. Sorry.
Duh.
I don't even remember how I ended up in Zach's place. I was in a hurry to get out of the office, and it was already late. Besides, I don't really think you'll believe me if I wake you up over something like that.
That's beside the point. True or not, there are people who will always be concerned about you. There's Zachary, but he's the first person you went to, and you didn't tell him anything. You just slept there. There's Ashton too, and me. But how do you think I'll be able to explain to your aunt or your family if you suddenly disappeared? Think about that.
Right. I'll remember that next time.
And she grins.
I told you not to call me that.
She called her mom.
Mom.
Cool. I hate this so much. Good God, does Rebecca, like,
How many
mind
times
talk
have I
again?
told you girls not to loiter around the hallway? It's noisy. Some people here are trying to sleep. Quiet down or go do your talking inside. I'm pinning a memo to your door the next time this happens. Millennials.
One more time with that one, please. Thank you.
Millennials.
Beautiful. You know, I didn't know I needed that today, but
Sorry.
apparently I did.
We won't do it again.
You'd better.
Freaking millennials. Oh my God.
Becca, I'll find a way out of this. You guys don't have to worry about me.
Millennials.
Anyways, I should go. I'll see you later.
Where are you going?
Getting myself some food.
Millennials
Don't
are
wait
people
for
born
me.
in the the late 90s, early 2000s. Oh. Thursday. Was that another time skip? Yeah. Okay.
Like an ugly
I don't care.
Oh, you know, a few problems popping up here and there that the agents failed to tell us somehow. Nothing a few hired hands can't fix, of course. I would have preferred a place near the city and something that's new to save us all the trouble, but darling wife insisted. Who am I to say no?
Are you kidding me?
The smug head is the first thing I see turning into the hall in spite of the small crowd of parents, students gathering in the corner for primary's career day. It's not that he stands out. He was pretty unremarkable at first glance, frankly. However, in his countenance that draws people's eyes to him, the manner he carries himself in with all the confidence in the world, his mere presence dwarfing everything around him. I'm willing to bet he's also enjoyed the attention and garners, especially the ones coming from the women.
What an ass.
Cool. She
I
wants to head
shouldn't have
again.
volunteered.
This time, helping out sounded good, but I have no classes left today until after lunch. Could have opted to stay in the teacher's lounge and work on my lesson plans, but that meant being left alone with our deputy head and his chatter. He's a good man, but crivens, he can talk anyone's ear off. So the moment an opportunity arose, I jumped on it. Simple task to boot. Just deliver a whole box of materials and a few posters for the event. Maybe to stay around to assist if time would allow it. Wasn't expecting him to show up here. Out of the frying pan and in the fire. Cool. Please, dear God.
I knew it's you!
The force nearly throws me off balance, sending the items stacked atop the box, tilting dangerously to the side. With the shots out to my waist, pinning down the spot, and both my hands occupied, watching is the only thing I'm able to do. The short seconds in between the slows, as everything gradually slides out the box to a small surface. Under different circumstances, it's made for a funny story at some other time, comically even. Until another set of hands reaches out and steadies the posters, threatening to take a nosedive right to the floor.
Oh, careful now, Daisy. Don't make a mess here.
Ah! My entire body freezes! Upon hearing his voice alone, an irrational impulse to hit him immediately bubbles up. But before my limbs can catch up with my brain is currently screaming at me to take the burden off my arms. The irritation gives way to surprise and confusion. It is in that moment that an instinct finally kicks in and I tug the box closer to me before he can carefully lift it off.
What are you doing?
What does it look like? You're surprisingly slow on the uptake for someone of your profession, aren't you?
Chat! Chat! Why it keeps going? The game just... It's just never-ending story. You know what I mean? 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 You know what I mean?
Bloody, doesn't this school have people for this kind of work? So much for being a center of academic excellence.
I'm going to ignore that slight to my alma mater and my work, because that's not what I'm trying to get at. You know what? Why don't we just rephrase that to something you'll easily understand? Why exactly are you doing this?
Well, you look like you could use a bit of help. Have you seen your face while you were heaving this around?
Mister, I'm pretty sure if there's ever a look on my face, it's entirely because I saw something extremely unpleasant this morning.
Aren't you a ball of sunshine today, Daisy? Having a bad day, aren't we?
Oh, you have no idea.
I'd put it away if I were you. You might scare the children.
You don't have to worry about that. This isn't my department. I was just asked to bring these. Anyway, I can handle this myself, mister. The room's just right over there. Behind you, in fact. Now, if you could please move over and make way, it would do the whole world some good.
Nice. Nice. She's
Don't worry,
being
Miss
real
Pink.
rude.
Tio's strong. You can leave this to him. My papa does it lots of times, but I'm not allowed to talk about it to anyone. Tio says it's
Confidential, Munchkin.
That's right. Tio's smart, isn't he, Miss Pink?
I'm sure he is, Kylie. But I'm also sure he'll find better use for it elsewhere.
Like helping you out.
Oh, well, that's one thing, but...
You heard the kid.
No one's asking you.
You wound me, woman.
And I'm quite certain I can do more damage than that. Shall we give it a try? Again?
He pales, stammers for a bit, ultimately decides against saying anything and settles for a brief show of discomfort instead. Cool.
I'll have you know that threats never work on me, Daisy.
He's blushing.
Not in a million
Cute.
years. Not ever.
Wow.
You're assuming it's a
Wonderful.
threat. How cute.
That too. I'm not scared of you. Just because you landed a hit.
Do go on. Keep telling yourself that.
It was a fluke, you hear? I was caught off guard and your damn book left a dent. If I end up in a hospital because of what you did, I'm sending the chief of Luxburn Police after you, woman.
You don't say.
Just give me that bloody box.
He snatches it out of my arms before a single word of protest exits my mouth and quickly appears behind the classroom. Cool.
Kylie, did your Tio eat something bad before coming here? He's unusually nice today.
A far-fetched idea, I know, but it's the only reason I can think of why this asshole is suddenly acting like a decent human being.
He always is. But I made him promise to be extra nice to you since you helped me so much. I think you're gonna be great friends.
Ah, that's the idea.
Are you sure it's not something he ate during breakfast?
I gave him some jelly babies this morning. Really brought me lots of them.
We're
Mama
playing this
said I
and
should
thought, hey,
share,
maybe
so I offered
Rebecca's
half
lines
of it to
almost
Tio
makes
when he
Luke
picked me up.
tolerable.
He likes the black
Then I
ones.
finished the game.
Oh, that's probably why he's weird. Jelly baby overdose.
Oh, I'd like to over...
Do you want some? I've got more. I couldn't play Melody.
I'm not making a joke.
This morning.
That's a bad one.
But I'm sure he'll be fine sharing some of it with you.
No, I'm not really very fond of them. I was just asking. Oh, where's your mum, by the way?
Out of town with Papa.
Of course. So this is where Luke was all week.
Weren't they informed of career day beforehand?
Yeah, I told them all about it. Mama was looking forward to it.
And they still left?
Uh-huh. It's important business, so it can't be helped. They promised to tell me about it when they come back tomorrow, though. Papa said he'll give me a gift if I behave. I've been a good girl, right, Miss Pink?
You always are. But
yeah, I'm gonna go out of my way to kill Rebecca.
They asked your Tio to look after you? For this?
Nope, they didn't.
No? Then how?
It was supposed to be Tia. Mama likes her better than Tio, so she asked her, but she's sick and had to visit the doctor today. Oh, that's supposed to be a secret, by the way. Oh, but I think it's a bit confusing because Tio said she also went shopping. That's unfair. Don't you think so, Miss Pink? Mama doesn't allow me to go out when I'm sick. It's still okay, though, since Tio always buys me sweets before we go home. I'm gonna ask for a parfait today. Extra large. Don't doubt the Kako, okay?
Okay. Buy her things.
But before that, I'm gonna show him to everyone first. It's gonna be great. No one else has a gazillionaire fairy godfather. Also, when I grow up, I'm gonna be exactly like him and marry someone really handsome. Like Tia did. That way, I can be awesome too.
Oh boy.
Munchkin, sweetie, trust me. You don't have to marry someone for that to happen.
I don't?
Just do your thing, darling. I'm quite sure you can do great things on your own without lugging around an extra
I think my favorite part is
Tia married you.
This literal freaking thing, right? Makes Luke look good. Because
yeah,
Rebecca's that's terrible.
That's true, Munchkin, technically.
And I hate him.
The same thing.
Well done, game.
Listen here,
like
sweetie.
he's racist, he's misogynistic, he's an asshole, he's a cheater, he's the worst.
I don't see her doing anything.
And yet somehow the game has made me like
Munchkin.
Rebecca less.
Did you know she's really good at numbers?
Because at least he is what he is.
You helped me with my homework
Like he
once.
doesn't hide that he's
Well,
a
Tia's
terrible
much,
person. He
much
embraces
better than
he's
me.
a terrible person.
She used to do
versus
maths
Rebecca,
with big
who hides it.
Oh, like millions?
No. Gazillions. And she's really, really good at it. So much so that her dad let her manage anything that had to do with it. That was even
So I
before
think it's
she
probably
met me,
like
too.
he's a bigger villain, I guess,
She's better than
versus like Rebecca, who's
Oh,
just
leagues, Munchkin.
intolerable.
Way better than I'll ever be.
And I dislike.
You know what? Why don't you ask Tia next time you have homework,
Okay, next time I'll ask her to help out.
See? No need to marry a good-for-nothing bloke.
Can I also tell her to not stay at home anymore? If Tia's good at it, I'm sure she can help you out too. And Papa. He computes a lot of numbers too. Tia can help him.
You go do that. I'm sure she'll love to hear it, Munchkin, even if it's been a while since.
Okay.
But off you go first. I think I saw your friend run off to the other classroom. The one with the pigtails? Go say hi to her. You still have those jelly babies to give her, yes?
All right. But wait for me, okay?
Like I think I understand why Luke really didn't want kids
Put
though.
up my drawing on the bulletin the other day. I'm gonna take you there.
Like
later.
he
I'll be
genuinely seems to care about this kiddo.
Why are you laughing like that?
Don't mind me. I just saw something surprising today. Don't let it bother you.
You know, putting it like that won't make me any less inclined to ask. What is it, woman? If this is another one of your threats, I've already told you it isn't going to work on me.
I will say,
That
whoever
good
voice
teacher act
acted
isn't
Luke
going
though,
to fool
killed it.
anyone.
What makes you think it has to do with you?
Like,
I
Luke's
could have just
voice actor is
remembered something
great.
funny. Not everything in this world revolves around you, mister.
I am not daft, Daisy. It's on your face for all the world to see. Now, say it so we can be done with this stupid talk.
But another laugh. You're good at handling her. Bonuses! Luke likes us. Look at that.
Can't you act a wee bit polite for even a second of your life? It won't kill you. You'll easily get answers that way, you know? Instead of demanding things from people like a temperamental man-child.
I'll be nice when I want to be, woman. Don't tell me what to do.
And here I was just thinking how you're doing a brilliant job as Kylie's guardian. Was I mistaken?
Was I mistaken? What? Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Stop playing dumb. I
He can't
hate to
help it.
admit it,
He can't help
but
it.
you actually seem to be good with kids. Possibly even better than most of the teachers here. What do you know?
Are you sure we're not trying to hook up with Luke? That is not the answer I selected out of those two.
No, you should be proud of yourself. At least there's this one good thing about you. Isn't that nice to hear? Pretty sure not a lot of compliments get thrown around about you, knowing how you are.
There are
Courtesy
a lot
Nat,
of good
he's
things
part of Team
about me,
4-star?
Daisy.
Holy
Yeah, for
shit!
one. There's also my extraordinary good looks. Wax lyrical about those all you...
Hold on. That's why it's familiar! He's Cell!
Want. I'd be happy to hear it any day. Praise anything about me, but that.
What is so repulsive about it? Even Kylie likes you. Shouldn't that tell you anything about yourself?
Kylie is one kid, not even my own. Trust me, you do not want to see me bring a spawn of my own into this world. This will be an abomination.
Is that what you keep telling yourself?
Maybe. Is it any of your business?
No. But if I didn't know any better, I'd say this is because you yourself think you're a little piece of shite and somehow it'll pass on. It doesn't work like that, by the way.
The last remark just came out. There might be a sliver of truth in it. But I shouldn't have phrased it like that. Or being real rude.
You're right. She deserves someone far better than me.
After talking about self-worth, it makes some sense now. Isn't some profound knowledge he pulled out of his arse to come about because he's already been there. He's likely stuck in the middle of it. Nice. Hey, look at you, making this guy feel bad, which, you know, genuinely doesn't make me feel bad, but I'm sure
You know,
it makes
Luke,
someone feel guilty.
You're not such a bad person.
Ooh, firm disagree.
Is that
but
supposed to make me feel better?
Take it how you will. But a little attitude change would help. A lot.
Ah, bollocks. Right, of course. Let me know when you're done with your lecture, ma'am.
And you can probably start by not leaving your wife out while you're having some quality time with your goddaughter. Who knows? Maybe that'll help change how the child sees her.
Where did you even get the idea I'm leaving my wife out? Have you ever even met?
No, but I did see her with you two last time.
his indifferent expression quickly dissolves into a confused scowl, while I meet with matching perplexity.
What? When was this?
At the cafe. After you left, she was sitting right beside you. Kylie was at the back and you were driving.
Daisy, are you sure you haven't accidentally hit yourself with your own book? Because that damn thing's quite thick. And I'm really getting worried about you. It has only been a few days and concussions can be dangerous. I suggest you have that checked.
Well, you asked. I just answered. It's pretty rude to make her wait like that, by the way.
How can I make her wait when she's not even with us?
What?
It was just Kylie and I that night.
Now you're just pulling my leg.
Luke exhales, long and drawn out, his impatience rapidly changing the companionable air around us. In the face of it, I tense.
Wifey was out with Kylie's mummy that night. She wasn't with us. How do you think I ended up on babysitting duty?
But in the front seat. And Kylie's...
Miss Pink!
Kylie sobs reach my ears first, then her familiar weight returns around my waist again. Oh my god.
All right, Kylie, calm down.
All that clicking was for, and I kneeled down to talk to her.
What happened?
He's my friend.
That's a little too vague, Munchkin.
Let her speak, Luke. Who is it, Kylie? Melody? Or was it the other one?
Yeah.
Did the two of you fight?
She nods. Then merely claims of letting her sobs communicate the story instead, or as much as her shaking shoulders can tell me.
Sweetie, I won't be able to help you if you don't tell me what happened.
Okay.
I wanted to give her the rest of the jelly babies, but she won't come out.
Where? Where is she?
In the little girl's room.
Is she still there?
She won't say what's wrong. I kept asking her, but she told me to go away. Career day's going to start soon. I saw the prizes Miss Alice will give us for good. She's gonna miss it.
Is that what you told her?
Yeah, she won't listen. She won't even take the jelly babies. After I saved it for her, too. She and Luke wanted to eat the red ones, but I told him it's not for him. Miss Pink, can you talk to her? Tell her to come out. And I'm really upset with her.
Let me die! Let me die! Please be a ghost child. Please be a ghost child that's like a demon.
Okay, tell me where she is,
And Rebecca. Jesus, dialogue Christ.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down,
And me now, I really hate Rebecca. Please, God damn it. What up, Quinn? Turns out Kylie's not the only one upset by this. Despite the situation, Smile forms on my lips and I call out to a friend.
Hello there. You're Kylie's friend, aren't you? Melody, is it? She's looking for you.
Children can be so amusing sometimes.
Career day's about to start, too. You'll have to come out, or you're going to be really late for it. Miss Alice won't be happy if one of her kids isn't there. I heard she brought little gifts for everyone who'll behave. Don't you want to receive one?
Her cries showed no signs of abating. They only grow louder. Then close away, alarming regardless.
Are you okay?
Any time. I nudged open the door. Her cries abruptly stop. And when I turn...
Kylie?
This isn't what I meant, chat. This isn't what I meant.
Miss Pink? Miss Pink? Why didn't you help her?
My water becomes motionless at the sight of her. That's the Lion King. This is Kylie, I'm sure of it. Okay.
Can't you hear her? She's asking for your help. Why won't you listen to her? You're a bad person. People like you deserve to die.
Agreed! Let Rebecca die! I can't breathe! Those whispers and laughters again. Judging, mocking, taunting. Each scathing word rings sharp and true in my ears. Nice.
Help me!
Are you ladies done with your business here? I don't have all morning to wait for you two.
Are you okay, Miss Pink?
No anger, no vile hatred in them, just plain sincere concern. Great.
Did you? I'll call Tio, okay? Stay here and don't move.
No. No need. Just leave me alone.
Tio will know how to fix you. Oh, wait, okay?
I can speak regular sentences to her, but I can't shake it off. Dread is there, twisting in my insides in anticipation. I have no idea what, but sure. She just runs off. Nice. Classes end. Normal day. She doesn't shut the hell up. She's drinking a 4th cup of tea. Or is it 5th? Who matters? Who cares? Or she's just gonna keep talking to herself.
It is a natural conclusion.
Those are just stories, centuries old lore passed by the locals to keep children in line.
Perhaps Isabella's right all along.
Terrible thing if true. Nice. Marianne McCullough. Because we went to the library, we met. I remember now. This is the Marianne section. Okay.
Marianne?
Hello! Here I was starting to wonder if it was a bad time to call. Is it?
No, not at all. I dismissed my last class a few minutes ago. I'm pretty much free for the rest of the afternoon, unless something comes up. Is this about last time? The book?
Not really. I was hoping to ask you about some other thing.
Oh, sure. What about?
You grew up in this city, didn't you?
It's a peculiar question to ask someone you just met, but I answered nonetheless.
Born and raised. Third-generation migrant. Why do you ask?
So, you must be familiar with the local lore. The, stories?
Quite. If I'm going to teach about history, I'd like to think I am, yeah? But a family friend would be a better person to ask. If you want, I can contact him for you.
No! Let's just keep this thing between us, okay? It's nothing too big. Alright. I really don't know how else to put this without sounding a bit crazy. But things have been really, odd. Do you remember the mansion I mentioned back when we met? My current project?
Hindsight, I should have expected to lead to this.
The Ermengarde Mansion, yes?
Ermengarde Mansion!
The thing is... Oh dear, this is a bad idea. You know what? Just forget I ever called you about this. It must have been the sunny weather. It's making me sick.
Oh, the sunny weather! Why did I not expect it?
No, wait. It's all right. I don't mind.
Cool.
I can't believe I'm asking you about this.
It's fine. Why don't you just think of it as some form of research?
Well, all right. But after this, we're going to forget we ever had this talk.
Ever?
My lips will be sealed. Now, what is it about the mansion?
Just, what do you know about it? The general gist. The place's past. What happened to the owners? Anything you can give me.
Let's see. To start off,
Do my best to give her a concise summary.
That's all there really is to it?
as far as I know, there's this little bit I forgot to mention about Lady Charlotte Ermengarde's death, but most of those are just theories. Aside from that, this is really everything we've been teaching all these years.
So the action point. House was commissioned 400 years ago. Who had it built up to the point that it got deserted after the last heir's death, and deeds passed down. Okay, so now really, literally nothing but the urban residents.
Should there be anything more?
No mention of any other weird stuff? Other crazy stories?
Crazy stories, dude!
Or a letter of some sort?
My blood runs cold.
None that I've heard or read of. What does a letter have to do with this?
Oh, no. It was just something I came across. Ignore it. Random thoughts, you know? By the way, I need to run. Thanks for answering my questions.
She ends the call.
Just what the hell did we get ourselves into?
Cool. She runs into Luke again. Neat.
You're still here?
Obviously. Who do you think's standing in front of you?
An ass.
Oh, come on, Daisy. You've done better than that. Losing your touch?
Luke, I don't have time for this. I'm heading home, and your face is the last thing I want to see before I leave. What do you want?
Belatedly, I noticed his hand, partially raised, posing for a knock. Okay.
Munchkin, I thought you wanted to tell her something.
You do it, Tio.
This wasn't my idea, darling.
Don't worry. I won't tell Tia what you told me the other day. And this morning.
Blackmailed. I love it. Makes you feel good. 5-year-old children win over Luke.
Come with us.
What makes you think I will?
Because little Rugrat here is upset and worried, and it's your bloody fault. I've no idea what happened this morning, but if you don't come with us, I won't be hearing the end of it from her. So do me a favor, Daisy, and just be glad I'm inviting you.
You're asking for a favor, and you can't be bothered to be polite? I don't know. It's been a really busy day for me. I kind of miss my couch.
Daisy, you just say yes.
A pause falls, almost too dramatic.
Please?
Tio said it'll be his treat.
What? I said no such thing, Munchkin. I only agreed to this because you requested it. I'm under no obligation to feed her.
I promise we'll be quiet the next time I visit.
Oh, all right, but just one meal and make it the cheapest.
He and Ashton don't get along famously in that apartment.
See, Miss P, you don't have to feel sad anymore, okay?
Oh, well,
Well, it buzzes from my pocket. I'll be around Salem all this evening. Need to meet someone in the area. I might have to drop by yours and Isabella's place after. See ya. Unlike what he does to Zachary, Ashton has the decency to let us know when he's dropping by or he's in the area for business. Nice.
Well, Daisy?
I have other things to do. Have fun! He still likes us. We're good. Sorry. Goodbye. See you, Luke.
You're not gonna join us, are you?
I'm sorry, Kylie. I'd love to, but I have other things to do. Another time, maybe? A friend just texted me about something urgent, and he wants to meet tonight.
Just say it's a date, Daisy. The little Rugrat will understand. She's not an infant. No need for blatant lies.
Nice.
What even gave you that idea? And even if it is, why do you care? Stop sticking your nose in other people's affairs.
Oh my god, we're soon
Your
there.
face says it all, woman. You think I won't recognize those longing looks?
There isn't a look, you There isn't a look, all right?
Sure, whatever helps you sleep at night, Daisy.
You already have a story written inside that head of yours, don't you?
Oh, please. It's not that interesting. The color of your face does suit you, though. Matches the hair.
Whoa!
Well, come on now, Munchkin. I'll just buy you an extra glass of that parfait.
With extra strawberries?
I'll get you a basket full if you want. As long as you behave. And no complaints if they don't have enough syrup again. Deal?
Deal. Have fun with your date, Miss Pink.
And they're already gone. Nice. Ashton's waiting. Cool. Should I say it? There's a very high chance they won't say yes. I gotta ask him. We have to ask Ashton to go to the thing with us.
How dense can he get?
Can't wait for 2 decades. Alright, it's gonna be a date. Frankly, I wouldn't mind if it is. Let's go. Same weary slump is also on Ash's shoulders when they catch a glimpse of him. He's leaning casually on the rails. Nice.
What brought you here?
How's something inaudible? Nice.
Just work? Do you expect me to believe that?
In a way. I didn't think an important contact ditched me and now I'm stuck would make for a cool alibi. Did it work?
As if there's going to be any difference. You're still a dafty. Anyway, do you want to come in? But if you're going to hang around for a bit, you better turn those headlights off. My landlady's one hairline away from banning you off this place, you know? Stop taking the piss out of her. She's a nice woman.
When she stops taking the piss out of Shirley, maybe I will.
You and your bloody car.
First time I heard of the name, I did a double take. Don't call her Shirley!
Hey, it's a nice name.
Don't laugh at it. You'll hurt her feelings. I'm gonna have to give that offer a pass, though.
Okay.
I need to get going. I just dropped in to check on something, and...
So trail off cut off mid-sentence, leaving me to comprehend the rest of it. You're checking on Isabella. Got it. Not shocked.
Is there a problem?
Nothing of note. Abigail just wanted to ask her a few things. It's related to that incident with Cooper. You heard the one.
Hold on. She isn't in trouble, is she?
No, I don't think so. Not as far as I know. It's just an off-the-record thing, okay? Abigail wanted to confirm something. She knows I'm friends with someone working at BRC, so she asked me. Apparently she isn't getting anything from that company, as long as the red tape's in the way.
More red tape?
It's nothing urgent, though. She isn't answering her phone again, so I thought I'd check myself. I can wait until she gets home.
If she comes home soon. The last time I saw her was 2 nights ago.
Demeanor immediately changes. Despite his careful attempt to appear nonchalant, his eyes scream of unspoken worry. It's almost painful to see how much he tries to hide it.
What? Did she take a vacation or something?
Wait, 2 days ago? Did we kill Isabel? I don't remember Isabel dying, Chad. What was the last day we played as Isabel? Housewarming parties tomorrow. Okay, Isabel definitely made it through past that. This is the day that Zach died. No one's made it. 31st, huh? Alright.
No word from her, unfortunately.
Isabel's not dead.
I don't
What
think
up,
she'll go on a trip without telling us. It's been 2 days. 3 if she's not going to show up tomorrow either. Do you think we might have to file a missing person report?
I hope not. Even Zach's not acting like himself already. I wonder what that guy ate. But let me know if anything happens. You know how to contact me. I'll see you later, Becca.
Ashton, wait!
He holds one step already down, 1 foot down, another step, and turns raising an eyebrow. Ask him.
Tomorrow afternoon. Do you...
Yep.
That depends. Why?
Well, you see, someone sent an invite for a housewarming party, and I thought you might want to...
Rebecca, I'd rather stand on the messy end of a gunshot. You know that.
I know, it's just... You're one of the few people I can count on with things like this.
That's cool. I appreciate the thought. But really, Zach's a better companion. Gatherings like that just aren't my cup of tea.
It did cross my mind, you know. If he isn't busy with his freelance work, I'd probably ask him too. Actually, you two would have been spared if Isabella was here, but...
Why not just skip out on it? The world's not going to end if one guest doesn't show up.
Trust me, I'd love to. But I promised Mom I'll be there.
Still can't say no, huh?
Like you're any better. Besides, the person who sent this is an old friend of Mom and Dad. If it's important to them, why not? Though, who would have thought, huh? The famous Evans heir used to be tutored by my parents. Apparently, we also met before.
Wait, who?
Evans. Hannah Evans. Well, she's already married. She goes by Hannah Wright now. Remember the couple who bought the mansion Isabella's selling?
The same people?
As far as I know. Unless I misread their address, or there's another Hannah Wright in this city that we don't know about.
Let me see that.
That warrant waiting. He walks closer, takes the invitation off my hands, gently with the same force of urgency in his voice. Nice.
You never mentioned this.
We met just once. Or at least, that's what Mum told me. Honestly, I can't recall anything from it. Otherwise, I would have told you about it.
He was thinking audible under his breath. Oh, well, thumbing the paper, staring at it, doing as if doing so will proffer him some answers to every unspoken question in his head. He gleans nothing from it. He merely folds the envelope back
All right.
in form.
I'll go with you.
What?
I'll go with you.
She's so happy. She doesn't even know how to deal. Okay. Hold on, chat. Hold on.
that shouldn't be a problem, right? Unless you've already made up your mind about asking Z-Man.
No, I told you already the guy's busy. Why would I bother him for this when I can go alone? But what about your own work and...
I can make time for this. 3 o'clock, yeah? I'll pick you up an hour or so before.
She's so excited. Oh, that's so good. I don't care anymore. Friday. Where are we in the branch? Oh my god. Well, we still haven't hit whatever that choice is. We're going down the Zoom path, though. Gonna skip a lot of shit this way. Great.
What the hell were you thinking?
I wasn't. Ow! Could you let go?
Now, a few seconds later, they both descend the stairs, Dash and pulling Isabel by her wrist. Nice.
Do you have any idea how much trouble you could get in?
That's why I'm asking you for help.
Is this what you've been doing these past 3 days? Because this doesn't make your case convincing, Isabella.
Rose died, Ash.
I know. Every single person in Luxburg knows. It's on the damn news. But that doesn't mean...
People are missing. Some of those are my friends. And BRC's just covering it all up.
You can't just barge into my office and expect me to do anything about it, right off the bat. This isn't a children's game, Isabella. We have procedures. We have to follow protocol. There's red tape all over this case for a reason. We sure as hell don't investigate things just because some stupid letter spooked us.
Ash, you have to believe me this time. If we don't do anything right now, more people will...
It's been a whole week. This stupid letter prank is getting old real fast. I'm sick of it. It was funny the first time, not so much now.
You're the only one that can help me with this, Ash. Even Rebecca won't.
All right, you two are awfully loud. What's going on here?
Both their heads snap up, almost in unison. Displays frown on each of their faces, but a necessary interruption. Cool.
Well, if you want to continue this, you two better do it elsewhere. You're disturbing other people.
Don't worry, we're done here.
No, we aren't. Becca, I looked it up. I called them. I visited some of them and...
Which you shouldn't have done in the first place. Isabella, you're going to create more problems for us with what you're doing. A team has already been assigned to it. Leave it to us.
Your precious team is looking at it the wrong way. Becca, it's not just Rose. There are others.
Husband strikes a chord, prods strongly at my memory.
What do you mean?
The letter, Rebecca! It's not...
It's nothing. If there's really something going on because of that dumb letter, none of us would be standing here. We've all read it, haven't we? But Rebecca's alive, Zach's alive, I'm alive. So for the last time, this isn't a curse. There's a murderer on the loose, and your co-workers happen to be the victims. Give it a rest, Isabella. It's too early for this shit.
Don't you think that's too much for a coincidence?
Not so much. Most serial killers follow a pattern. I'll tell you about it some other time. And anyway, coincidence or not, the point is, civilians like you aren't supposed to get involved. You're putting yourself in danger.
You're putting yourself in danger.
I wasn't chasing after...
Will the both of you slow down and stop arguing for a minute? What's this about your coworkers, Belle?
Becca, please don't tell me now you believe this shit.
Sure, in a heartbeat, I'll agree with Ashton. That's how it has been. Always, besides having a very good point. Really, they're the same ones he'll make every time I ask too many questions. Got it. Belle, you shouldn't be doing these things. I might have seen her. I might have seen her. Imagine the look on his face. It takes too much effort. Okay, let's do it.
I might have seen her. The woman Belle's been telling us about. The one she said she saw in the attic.
Both assuming like I've grown an extra head, and for a few moments, Ashton looks as if he's about to have a fit.
You're kidding, right?
Do I look like I'm joking?
Really, Becca? Not funny.
Ash, I'm not lying. Why would I lie about this? It's been this way since the film fest. The past few days have been really odd since we read that letter. Last night, you mentioned Zach hasn't been acting like himself. Maybe you should ask him, too.
Or maybe you're all just feeling under the weather.
I think that's a pretty
I'm not
big
sick.
choice for a
Don't you
different
think
line.
I'd know that by now?
right? Because that wasn't an actual choice here. Oh, shit, it was.
Becca, you're starting to sound like Scaredy Cat. Give me a break.
Why don't you?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, you two. This is all my fault. I was only hoping I could fix this before any of you. I'm sorry for dragging you all into this.
Ooh, this might not have been a good choice.
I'll fix this. I promise.
Quiet resolve.
Belle, there's nothing to fix. The problem is...
Just this once, Ash.
Her voice, though small and lacking any force, stops him. Along with every sound, every noise dies around us. A hush descending as if it's waiting for her
You
words.
don't have to come with me, but if I don't do anything, I am going to regret it.
She lays a hand atop his head. Gentle, pleading, almost intimate, if one does not consider the circumstances we found ourselves in.
Please.
Ashton will never tell a soul. He'll never admit it to himself, but it is in that short second that his own resolve breaks. The moment on the hard edge in his eyes softens and relinquishes his hold on her, letting his hand fall limply to his side. Wordlessly, Isabella steps back and runs off, leaving only murmured thanks and a small lackluster smile. Only after the last of her footsteps fade away does Ashton move, breaking the silence with one of his sharp exhales before reaching up to pinch the bridge of his nose in a gesture of frustration.
Did you really have to tell her that?
What do you want to hear from me then? That everything's fine?
No, I want all of you to stop putting these ideas in her head. None of it is helping. Never mind. Don't worry about her. I'll bring her back here.
He's already poised to leave when my own instinct takes over. I reach for him, gripping his elbow with the same unyielding grip, the action prompted by voices which bring the back of my mind.
Ash, I know you don't believe in those things she's saying. And you know me. I'm less inclined to believe in those things as you do. But I've seen something. There's something strange going on here. You don't have to buy it. If you don't want to listen to me, fine. But please, try to hear her out. It's bad enough that Isabella goes off like this without telling anyone. I'm just worried something might happen to her if she keeps at it. Talk to her, okay?
As if she trusts me enough for that.
Doesn't the fact that she approached you first about this, instead of me, already say a lot?
Got him. Tonight, hopefully, what up, World Clyde? Tonight, hopefully, where this all started will provide the answers I'm looking for. Dots! Alright, how far did we go down the branching tree? Miles. We went down the branching tree miles. My god! Freedom awaits, chat. Freedom awaits! How far are we this? Oh. Okay. Alright, let's go. She's doing her own rant. She's doing a rant again.
Welcome, everyone.
Mom said we could have been good friends. I can't even picture myself mingling with the kind of guest she has. Although I admit, she does seem familiar now that I've seen her this close. Memories are sitting in the vanity, not mine. Being dressed in clothes too fancy for my taste. They briefly flit briefly in my mind until her cheerful tone rises above the buzz of her enraptured audience
Please make
again.
yourselves at home.
Jesus Christ, Chad. I don't know what is up with
Be
Rebecca.
careful with
but,
Shirley, alright?
He makes me
Can't you
lose
at
my
least
mind.
act with a bit more shame?
Becca, if I find a single scratch on Shirley, there will be hell to pay.
Those guys know what they're doing. They're handling cars worth more than your precious Shirley.
My statement has likely shown beyond the tone of my voice, quite possibly in the form of a grimace. Thank God. Literally, like, her talking in her head shit just doesn't end, Chad.
Ashton, what's...
Sorry, Becca, I just saw someone I need to catch up with. Longtime friend.
Doesn't help that he doesn't even make an effort to spare a glance my way when he answers, instead of they're focusing at some point in the crowd.
Oh, wait, Ash, what about...
This won't be long. Be careful while I'm gone, okay?
I made the smile he hastily throws my way with a frown of my own. What does he mean by that? Before I can ask already, he's turned his back from me and is walking without a single explanation whatsoever. Some desperate effort, I try to catch up to him, if only to know what warranted the sudden departure and his odd warning at the
be
end.
careful! About what exactly?
Only for my attempts to be interrupted by a muffled ringing in my pockets. Mom's cheerful voice greets me as soon as I answer.
Yes, I'm at the party already, Mom. Yes, I'll say hi to her if I can.
Okay.
So?
He's already gone inside. The party hits full swing about an hour later. With the host's opening remarks given, still in the sight of her husband, the poor woman, and the guests promptly fed, the band shifts the melody to a livelier tune. Sweet. She's having fun. Great. Rebecca, your fucking monologuing is breaking me. Please, dear God, shut up. Zach's covering the event, and Ash is ignoring
the
us.
next person who asks, I'm dancing the night away with. Ashton can go fuck himself.
You would catch his eye a lot better if you wore nicer clothes, don't you think?
Her voice almost makes me jump, too focused on the gobshite wandering around the ballroom and my own annoyance to notice. Nice. Literally, look at this.
Didn't
Oh my
realize the
God.
housewarming was going to be this fancy. I would have gone with a nice dress if I knew.
Oh, you're fine, dearie. It's only really the parvenus, those who climb, that come to these parties all dolled up. Quite the black-haired beauty, isn't he?
Takes me a while to realize who she's talking about, until Ashton walks by again, closer proximity than any of the times he's done so far this evening. Still, without a look of acknowledgement our way, though, even if Miss Wright speaks loud enough to catch the attention of anyone within earshot.
Ash?
You know, you really shouldn't have turned down those offers. If I wasn't married, I'd happily go dancing with those young men. But you said a name. Ash. That's the exquisite lad you've been looking at all this time. I don't know him, and I'm the one hosting this party. That must mean you know each other. Is he your boyfriend then? Because that would explain those rejections.
This isn't the first time that someone has made that assumption. Almost every student I've had in the past did. My coworkers more often than not assume he is. A few of my neighbors also think we're an item. How's it going? It's going well, Clyde. How about yourself? Alright.
What? No, that's ridiculous. He isn't my boyfriend.
Such a violent reaction. A simple no would have sufficed. Many here would be happy to hear it.
And I haven't been looking at him.
It's going good? Hell yeah, dude. Do my best to summon a straight face, but before her good cheer, it easily falters.
That's right. You've been staring. Quite heatedly, in fact. Although I'm not sure if you look like you want to kiss him or kill him.
Why not both?
It's more the latter, currently.
Just don't go murdering him on my property.
Nice.
I don't want to walk into a room and suddenly find a body there.
I mean, doesn't Marianne literally die today? Yeah, Marianne had her slit throat tonight. Her throat slit? Her slit throat. She died. She died today, chat. Timelines and all.
Yes, oh, I remember you. You were the cutest little thing with glasses. And when we met, you were having boy troubles with this lad called something with an A.
Holy shit, she remembers that from like 12 years ago.
What was it again? Aaron, Alan, Adele, Albert, Alexander, Andrew?
More A names, please.
Ashton! Ash! That man is that boy! The same one.
Big F.
Oh, goodness me. After all these years.
Big F,
See
chat.
why, though. He's quite dashing.
You don't really need to
Real
announce it
Krungo,
to
dude.
everyone with
Real
an earshot,
Krungo.
you know?
I'm so sorry, but it really is cute.
She says that, but for a short moment, a hint of pity flickers in her eyes. I think there's a chance to change the subject before anything else can be said over the matter. Nice.
So, this is a nice party, Miss Wright.
Though to be frank, I doubt she'd be willing to pass this up. The topic has already captured attention.
Please, Anna's fine. We're friends of a sort, aren't we? We must be friends, seeing as I know about your little infatuation, Becky. Don't you worry, dearie. You'll have your happy ending yet.
I'm not too concerned about that, am I? That's not what I'm looking for.
Oh? And what makes you think that? Doesn't everybody want their happy ending?
The idea
Got 'em.
of happy endings sounds like they're just for fairy tales. And they are, sorta. I don't think you can just sit around, trapped in some tower and hope for the best. If you love them, you have to fight for it, right? You're not just going to sit there and hope that everything will just fix itself on its own.
Hypocrisy. That's what it is. How dare I preach about something when it's the exact thing I've been doing? She's Still ranting. Holy shit. I'm so excited not to be playing as Rebecca anymore.
I'm sure the daughter of the two greatest professors I've ever known is smart enough to know what she's talking about.
At one point, maybe I would have easily agreed to that. However, the past weeks have also seen changes in the way I view things. As nice as these things sound, it turns out whatever I previously knew may not even be true for other people, or for myself. Especially when facing Luke. Fucking Luke strides into the now quiet ballroom, fashionably late and oozing with the same pompous man he always carries around with him.
Good evening, ladies and gents. Enjoying the party? I hope I'm not too late in welcoming you all to the right mansion.
For long, Hannah leaves my side to join him, and it doesn't take a genius to piece it all together.
Welcome one and all to our humble abode. Tonight, if you have yet to find yourself
Do we
in your
see
roles,
the drama,
you
chat?
are ladies and lords of
Do
the
we see
court
the
of your
shit
king
show
and
hit the
queen.
fan?
If you would excuse
that
my
gonna happen?
presumptuousness. So, enjoy the feast that has been laid out for your senses as we only allowed the best to be served. Enjoy the rest of your night, everyone.
Nice. And amidst the round of applause and hoots, the people lagging behind the crowd have gathered does not catch up until the cheers turn into several scandalized gasps.
I am pregnant with your little bastard.
We do see the drama tonight.
You promised me you'll take responsibility.
I just realized Johan's like holding her
Damn it,
arm.
Luke. I finally got you to talk to me after months of silence, and you do this to me.
What do you mean you're pregnant with? Luke, is this true?
Lies and slander, woman! Security! Johans, take her out of here before she makes an even bigger fool of herself!
Which is Johan's reason Johan's
you
never
do
came
not
back for
do
Marianne
this
and why
to
she
me.
died downstairs.
I was so ready to leave my stupid oaf of a husband. I told you to leave that damn wife of yours. Look at her. Does she look like she wants a baby?
Literally more than
Does she
anything
look like
else.
she could take care of a baby?
Literally more than anything else. Questions go further, despite the struggle and appearing like she has plenty more venom to spill. In a while, security shows up escorting her out. Apparently she's the chief inspector's wife too. So this whole thing can't get more fucked up than it already is. What a mess. Damage has been done, and beyond the repercussions this will bring, we're worried about Hannah. Maybe Luke too. Nope. Nice.
Take that troll up out of here immediately and see to it that she isn't allowed to hear or anywhere we hold any authority in Luxbourne.
As outrage is a strange sight to witness. To the smiles and grace she's carried herself through the entirety of the party. Like this, her eyes burn bright with fury. I doubt she can do so much more. Ruin the scandalous woman if need be. Shaming her is already an act of mercy. Generous enough coming from her.
Everyone, please go back to enjoying the party. Don't let that mess of a woman ruin your night.
You heard her! Strike up the band, maestro, and let us dance like fireflies in the night!
When she turns to Luke, eyes gleaming with hope, something feels off. Something can't quite place. Hers is not the face of a person so ardently loves. There's a lack of tenderness in it, an absence of warmth and sincere affection. It's the kind that constricts, suffocates.
Well, that was a mess, wasn't it? And you handled it magnificently.
It happens. We are very important people, are we not?
No one's noticed it, however, and at their command, the music resumes.
Milady, would you like to dance?
With pleasure, my prince.
And we've seen this. She hears "Help me" again.
It didn't have to lie to me.
It's not even answering his phone. The man has always been difficult to contact when he's out. Okay.
Becca, where'd you go off to? If we're done here, let's go.
My mistake. The second his voice cuts through the crisp air, is I've allowed my annoyance to get the better of me. Nice. She's got to be
Shouldn't
pissed.
I be the one asking you that?
Becca, I've been waiting here the whole time. I told you I hate parties like...
And before that, where have you been the entire evening?
Right then and there, I might have forgiven him if he'd shown some ounce of remorse for leaving me like that. Maybe he could have looked away, given me a sign of my assumptions might be right. Doesn't need to put them into words. A single gesture of confirmation is all I need.
Be that way. Fine. Suit yourself.
No more words after everything I've seen and heard tonight, and I'm already too exhausted for those.
Wait, Becca.
You're kind of a dick, dude.
Ashton, if you're just going to waste my time again...
Becca, listen. I don't know how else...
That much is obvious. Why don't you just take the whole bloody night? Go on. I can wait until next year. Better yet, why don't you just keep it all to yourself like you always do? It's not like...
Rebecca, will you hear me out first?
Silence, I offer him. But whether I believe what he's about to say is still up for debate. A very long
I
debate.
honestly don't know how else to put this. I'm aware your parents have some kind of history with Hannah Wright, and somehow you're friends with her. But you should stay away from these people for now. Especially the husband.
Who? Luke?
Expression deepens his scowl at the mention of the name. Whatever opinion he has, he doesn't immediately voice.
Yeah, he's bad news.
Oh, we ended up dealing with this whole bullshit. Yeah, what does he have to do with this?
Oh, what does he have to do with this?
Negative with Ash. Nice. It's a question without merit. Yep.
Just trust me on this, Becca.
Don't you Becca me. That doesn't answer my question at all, Ash. You haven't answered any of my questions, in fact. What's really going on here?
I want to hear it from him.
The situation's complicated.
It's complicated,
One mistake
dude.
and you guys could...
So, we're back here again. More secrets? Why can't you be honest to me for once?
He's a dangerous man to be around, Rebecca.
Really? Care to elaborate on that? Because from what I've seen, the only dangerous thing about that guy is his audacity to cheat on his wife.
Why are you defending him?
Who said anything about defending anyone?
You know, I'm getting really worried about you guys. First it's Zach, and now you're...
Oh, you're worried?
Top guy says the guy's dangerous. You probably listen. Probably.
You care? Really now? If you care, then where were you the entire party?
You know, I don't even blame Rebecca, though.
It doesn't matter right now. You know I can't simply...
Fuck off.
Forget it, Ashton.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to talk about this anymore tonight. Speak to me when you're ready to stop spouting the same barefaced lies.
Ashton jerks back as if I struck him. For a fleeting moment, something akin to hurt darts across the features, his eyes narrowing and his hands closing in tightly into a fist at his sides. Does a little to lull my ill humor because the next second his answer sounds nothing of apologetic tone I'm expecting from him.
Fine.
A little regret would have been nice. Yep. Yep. This is a problem that can be fixed with handshakes. Yeah, nice. Yeah, fuck off, Ash. You're really mean, dude. You're really mean. Like, I'm sure you were, like, investigating the whole time, but, like, you didn't need to be a dick.
You can borrow the couch.
Throw the keys to my flat his way before a protest forms on his lips.
You haven't been forgiven. We're still going to have that talk, believe me. But I'm not about to send you out on another drive looking like that. It's late. Go get some rest.
Yep.
Where are you going? I thought...
You go ahead upstairs. I need to contact Professor Andrew.
Andrew? Why would you... Oh, no. Please. Is this that thing Isabella said this morning? Again?
What am I missing here? Okay.
I already gave her my word, Becca. I'll look into this BRC crap. No need to drag the old guy into it.
Of course he's skeptical, alright?
Ashton, do you really think I still give a shite after that stunt you pulled tonight?
No, but this is...
Spent so many years with him to know this is about to turn into another argument. Before I can finish it, I cut him off with a firm raise of my hand.
I don't care. There are weird things happening around here. And yes, it's Isabella's brand of weird. Ghostly voices, strange sounds, and a bloody woman sitting at the back of my car. You don't have to believe me. And I no longer have the patience to convince you, so just leave me be, Ashton.
Yep.
Are you really sure?
What?
That there was something? That you've been, seeing things?
Yes, I'm very, very certain. Now go, and you better not break anything in there. The last time I let you stay over, it was that statuette Belle gave me. You haven't even replaced that one.
Okay. He's concerned. Neat.
Professor Andrew? I'm sorry, but this is a bit urgent.
After all, this is a more pressing matter.
Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you to do me a favor.
Okay. We're gonna meet him at the library. Neat. 5 minutes after I do. Here's this kind smile and a casual wave of his hand.
Professor Andrew.
Rebecca, didn't I say long ago you can drop the professor?
You know I can't possibly do that, even if I can. It feels disrespectful to call you by your name alone.
Both you and Ashton never listen to this old man. Kids these days.
Fucking kids, man!
Alright, but just for today, since you're doing me a huge favor, Andrew.
I guess you simply can't have it all, even at this old age.
Fucking Andrew, dude!
But pleasantries aren't what we're here for, yes? You mentioned you needed a permit.
Yes, sir, if that's okay with you.
More than fine. Anything in pursuit of knowledge, as they say.
Okay, hands me the permit.
If you don't mind, though, I know you've always been an eager learner, but may I know what in the restricted section that piqued your curiosity?
It's the God Mansion, sir.
It's quick to raise an eyebrow.
The ones they have out in the general isn't enough?
I'm, hoping for a more in-depth read, sir. More about the history and the people who once lived there. The general section doesn't have anything much on that.
Oh, I see. Well, you certainly aren't the first one to be enamored with that place. It doesn't shock me. The architecture is admirable. Why, just this past week, I've got a few asking me about that.
I think enamored might be a little too much to describe our interest in it. But I have to agree. The mansion is beautiful, even with the renovations.
Who else talking?
They kept the stained glass windows, too. They are magnificent.
Oh, you've seen it.
I was there for a few hours to attend a housewarming party. The invitation was for my parents, but they couldn't make it. My mum used to work as a private tutor for the Evans. Hannah Wright?
Ah, I know of her. Her husband, too. Who doesn't? Luxbourne's most popular couple.
There's a lot of hatred in that sentence.
Is something the matter?
Nothing much. But you know, you're already like a daughter to me. So if you could, do be careful with the friends you make.
Is this about the Wrights, sir?
Just a friendly advice from an old man. Don't think much about it. Anyway, I have to leave now. Can't miss my weekly serving of bear claws. Say hi to your parents at the detective inspector for me, will you? I wish you luck with all that research.
I will. Thanks for this, Andrew.
Cool. Chat free me. I want to be free. Neat. Holy fucking existential Christ.
Start. I can still work with this.
Okay. She's looking through the micro stuff. People died. Neat. What's surprising, though, apparently her time is also marked more than superficial changes to the place. She moved things, changed laws, altered old customs and traditions. If they were done on a woman's whimsy, it doesn't say. She's capable enough to do more than that. And I'm talking about Charlotte. And just at the town she rebuilt, it's what eventually grew to Luxburn City while the nearby Ansel village remained as it was a relic of the old. Frown swiftly formed in my face.
So, why is there a need to hide this?
One by one, I start to recall every lesson I've gone through, every book, every paper, every journal I've read. None of these ever mentioned this. It's always been the Lord and the Lady of the house, their enduring child, always in the afterthought, these anecdotes. The one who always took their life in the end. Never someone who restored a town from the brink of collapse or brought new ideas to it. Because she's a woman?
Pisses me off.
Granted, not everything is sunshine and rainbows. Not all aspects of her can be considered admirable. This is a history. Some parts are bound to naturally delve into unpleasant territory, whether I like it or not. Witch hunts, for example, became common towards the end of her life. which would have been completely unremarkable, and might have actually become a mere footnote in history if it didn't involve Lady Charlotte and the very slave she saved. Caused quite a stir, enough to leave almost a work's worth of clippings. The girl was eventually burned, contended by the entire town, at the word of Lady Charlotte alone. But this doesn't even have anything to do with the curse, does it? Was that woman following us and the slave are the same person? Tale of revenge? How cliché. However, the lack of accurate photographs, it's impossible to tell. Maybe if a squint the illustration will start to resemble her. But in my field, it doesn't work that way. It shouldn't work that way. I'll be the laughing stock of the community.
This isn't going anywhere.
Mentally exhausted, I take a careful step away from the screen, pressing the palm to my tired eyes. The lack of ample light in this area doesn't help. A headache already threatens to form in the back of my head, and I'm nowhere near solving things out.
I should have asked for someone's help.
Now I'm at a dead end. Start gathering everything around me and placing them back in their respective envelopes for storage. The motion's no longer new after volunteering here a few times. Don't make that much of an mess, considering the lack of materials to begin with. Okay. This is one of the few I've set aside without carefully looking at it. It looks a gossip column at first glance, but upon a closer look, slide it back in the reader, gently turn the dials and search the page. It takes some time, but once the image becomes clear, they also had this drawing commissioned for their announcement. I don't doubt it. The details are far more intricate. Their likeness likely closer to how they might have appeared at the time. Both recognizable this way. Closer to the paintings I've seen in the mansion. However, it's the man standing next to her. Edouard Godfrey, according to the article that caught my attention. Her first cousin, eventually her fiancé. Maybe it's the posture of the manner in which he holds himself, or maybe the shape of the eyes, but I can't be too certain about that until I've got a better reference. Nonetheless, there is a resemblance. He looks eerily like... My head snaps up, glowering at whoever's running on the floor above. Any other day I'd march upstairs and reprimand whoever it was.
This is a library, for heaven's sake.
But now isn't the time. I've got what I need. Without wasting another minute, I hit the machine's print button for a copy of the page, while my other hand moves to put everything back in storage. A ragged exhale slips from me. Relief, perhaps? Maybe already exhaustion. Regardless, soon I'm closing my eyes to wait for the printer to finish. If only to save off a headache building up from everything. Sometime I've even begun humming the same song for comfort. Great. Feeling a chilling brush of air behind my back, brief enough for something sickening to suddenly lodge itself in my throat while I take in my surroundings. It's that suffocating sensation again, creeping to every part of me, crawling under my skins, draining me little by little of any strength. Beautiful. Make a beeline for the door! My whole body freezes!
What are you doing, Miss Pink?
I held my breath, not daring to make any noise. For a little while, the sound of papers crumpling under my gasp fills the room. Excitement from earlier gone instantly, replaced by cold, sleeping dread spreading throughout my limbs. The more than that is the fear, is anger. It pains me to hear her using my student's voice against me. More than once, I believed it was her. She has no right.
Why don't you play with me?
Although she hasn't made a move, if there isn't a wall behind me, I'd probably take a step back. Anything to put distance between us, no matter how small, as long as I'm out of her reach. But I steel myself, because if I do fall back, turning away from her, I'll be left with no way out. I'm not dying here.
You think you scare me?
Miss Pink, don't be so rude. I'm waiting.
I'm not afraid of you, you spook. This is one Scotswoman. You aren't getting into an early grave without a fight. Come at me.
I expect she'll lunge, prove to me what a monster she is. So she gives me a smile, twisted and gnarled. It's as if the time has crawled to a stop inside of it. Split-second decision. Before I know it, my body shifts. Eyes closing in anticipation, hand grabbing whatever's solid enough at a nearby table and hurling it at her. Uh-huh. We run? Which way is the actual way to get? We heard someone upstairs. Upstairs we go. There are people upstairs, aren't there? Cool.
Safety in.
Uh-huh. Yes! No other way down but up. Beautiful. No, everything is futile. Except the one that greets me isn't who I'm expecting.
Oh, Becky, sweetie. Why would you ever run away from me? The trek up here must be exhausting, isn't it? You poor, poor darling.
The was the same, even the looks, yet nothing but this hand that screams of the hand I know. She exudes none of the sweetness or cordiality she always has with her, even faces the people she barely knows. If I had not seen what I'd seen, heard what I have this past week, I'd very likely be brushing this jarring disconnect the odd weather. But, however, something's off with her. My mind is screaming. The space between us is best
Why
kept
don't you
now.
come here, sweetie? Downstairs with me.
I can't.
Oh, why ever not?
Please, Hannah. Just leave.
Don't be such a spoil sport, honey. Don't you want to catch up? It's been years since we've seen each other, hasn't it? Don't you miss Big Sister Hannah?
Maybe some other time, Hannah. I'm here on important business.
Important business, she says. Little Becky all grown up. Now she's learning to meddle. Tell me, darling, what did the curious girl find out?
I don't think that's any of your business.
Are we trying to call Ash?
Oh, believe me, it is. It is now.
Especially if it involves my darling prince.
She asked, her features contorting into something horrid, close to grotesque. A twisted little thing completely removed from the person I met not a day ago. This isn't Hannah. She's gone. This little fact caused me to take a worrying step back. Since when? She appeared okay in the housewarming party, and as annoying and overbearing as to find her husband, I feel sorry for the bald-wheeled. He might be an asshole, but he doesn't deserve this. Hannah doesn't deserve
What's
this.
wrong, Becky? You look like you've seen a ghost. All I'm asking is what brought you here at this hour. Of course, if you didn't do anything wrong, we wouldn't be having this problem, yes?
Stay away from me!
Useless plea. She doesn't even understand a word I say. Can she even? Is she still human in the first place? Somehow I doubt it. Because no human being will ever do this.
You and your friends have become such a nuisance to our lives. Even Zach, the pitiful bastard, and I trusted him.
What did you do to Zachary?
Jesus.
Oh, he's in a good place now.
Zachary? Wait, hold up. Hold up. Zach's not dead yet. Oh, he got knocked out. The next day is when he dies.
So do me a favor, sweetie, and come with me. I promise it'll be worth your while.
So imagine what she's capable of doing to us. Never want to give her that chance.
I'm telling you to back off!
How rude. I'm sure Mumsy Gales wouldn't be happy about that. Please be a good girl now.
Her gait is slow as she walks forward, but every inch she draws nearer. Even as I back away or take a little distance I can between us, the smile on her merely grows wider. A mocking gesture. For me. She may be less of a human now, but I'm pretty sure she's fully aware she's got me cornered. She wouldn't even bother making it here if she isn't. And I can't look away. I can't bring myself to. Even as the heel of my shoe eventually hits the edge. End of the line. Trapped. Alone. So this is how it ends, huh? Quietly, without fanfare. Surrounded not by a warm breeze, but a chilling morning air. Not soft footfalls on an empty hallway, but the din of early morning traffic below. No warm afternoon light. Nothing but the cold, pungent smell of death, all underneath a dreary morning sky. How fitting. Yet amidst it all, there's a single voice I want to hear. And for the last time.
Becca?
Hey, did I wake you up?
No, I left you a voicemail, so I thought, where are you?
The one I grew up with. Who always got better grades than I did without even trying. Whose silly antics I have to put up with all these years. Who stood by me even when things got tougher. That one person who's been a constant in my life.
Ash, do you remember that one time?
The what?
Back in secondary. We joined a contest back then, didn't we? We had to dress you up as a girl and...
No.
What? You looked really pretty. I think I still have that picture somewhere.
Burn it. We're not talking about that again. You promised. Seriously, what brought this on?
Nothing. It's just the first thing I remembered.
So weird. Despite everything, my lips curl up into a smile. Faint. A sad little thing on its own given the situation. Because even at the end, I know I have this. The casual talk. The friendly banter, talking like how we always would as children. If only I hadn't been too selfish. If only I hadn't taken all this for granted in favor of my feelings. Then perhaps I won't be regretting anything now.
You're being weird today, Becca. Whatever. Listen, I need you to go home right away. I'm at Salem Well right now and...
I wish time would simply stop for us. There are a lot of things I still want to say. Things I've never bothered saying out loud. Things I should have said a long time ago to someone who has always been by my side. But in this moment, there's only one.
Thanks, Ash.
Hold on, did I do something?
For everything.
Rebecca, what?
I'm so glad to have known you.
Wait, what are you? God damn it, Rebecca, where are you?
A soft click, and I'm closing my eyes. There's a rush of air, the sound of the world dimming around me, like a song coming to its inevitable end.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady.
Parties have never really been my thing. Oh man, I can't wait to hear more about this party next year. The series! It's never gonna end. It's never gonna end. Maybe next year. 2023 is gonna be when we finally beat the letter, dude! Holy shit. Alright, that's it though. I'm done. No more stream. It's time. It's time for me to go. Thanks for hanging out and spending some of your life. Monday we're gonna be doing the mortuary assistant. And some simulacra. Maybe we'll do the one in the morning. You know what? Maybe we keep pushing. We can keep pushing, right? We can keep trying. We can keep trying. You know what, dude? We're gonna do it Monday. I don't care. You know what? Yeah. I don't feel like saying next year. We've only got Ash. You know what? Probably not, though. We also have to finish Simulacra. You know what? We're gonna finish Simulacra. This is a yearly meme. It doesn't seem to end. Alright, guys. That's it. That's all I got. Go raid Trev. I think he's live. Go say hi. Besides that, thanks for spending some of your life here. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you on Monday. Bye-bye.